This is the motivation.
Fuck IBJJF. Oops. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. Oops.
Oh man, no, yeah, say it, dude.
We'll
We
edit
only
it
speak
out.
the truth
It's all
on this
It's
show.
fucking cool. I don't care. Oh, but we're live, right? So you guys do the intro.
No,
Let me
yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I hit it up. No, I just hit it up because I just hit it right now because we're saying some good stuff, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't even worry about the order of stuff, Adam. We got it all written down here. We're just gonna be
Okay.
shooting you the questions.
Sure.
Please feel free to, if you got a story you want to share that you don't
Well,
even like Alfonso's question, you just want to dodge it.
No.
You're like,
Just
"Man,
skip
get
that
out of my
shit.
face with
You
that."
guys are brilliant.
that,
You guys
say it.
have. I browsed it and I was like, hopefully I fucking remember. Like my memory is shit anyway. But I also have like memories when I was 2, when I fucking first watched wrestling, and the fight my dad's flute player had before he moved to Germany and left us all on Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco and whatever. And I detailed the fucking story in an email like 48 hours ago.
No way.
Yeah, so I cannot pick what I can and can't remember. I'll remember random fucking stat, and then people are like, "Oh, Woods is a fucking MMA pro wrestling genius," and I was like, "I'll forget the fucking next thing or forget where I live." Like the next.
Well, man, you got priorities. I mean, there's only
You're
finite
like-
amount of information.
you're
You
like
know, you
Will-
prioritize what information you want to
Like
remember.
Will Ferrell. What movie was Will Ferrell in when he was like in the frat and he was debating and he blacks out and he beats the other debate team and he's like, "What happened?"
I
Was
could
that-
Old
not,
school.
Was that old school?
I could not tell you a Will
Yeah.
Ferrell movie because he's got heat with me, and it's not even him, right? Because I liked him when he was on what is it, Superstar, Mary Catherine Gallagher, the movie, and he
Yeah.
was the fucking jock and everything like that. The motorcycle guy that was like a mute or whatever the fuck, and sorry to mutes or I don't even know what they identify as. My bad. But I'm also deaf. I'm 40. As
It was
of
the
2003.
90s.
Okay, yeah, all right. But I had a ex-fiance literally right before like I met my wife, right? And we've been together 15 years, but my ex-fiance thought he was funny on the sole reason is he graduated from Harvard.
What?
I
didn't even know that.
What?
But that doesn't.
Yes. He graduated from Harvard. And I was just like, fuck that guy. But then I also was like, I was looking over at Rivers from Weezer, and I was just like, oh, I fucking love Maladroid. And then it was like, he left Harvard to start Weezer. And I was like, okay. I did
There
the
you
Orange
go.
Cassidy. I was
Genius.
just like, all right. And then he went back. And then he went back and finished, and I was like, the fucking. I wish you would have covered fucking Hold the Line instead of Africa in terms of Toto songs, but that's
Oh.
another thing for another day.
That's
Maybe
a
the
whole
next
separate
album.
conversation.
Yeah, fuck yes,
Yeah,
man. Give me
I was listening to
80s
that
rock.
the other day. I was like,
Which one?
Yeah. weird.
Weezer's
That
Africa, Toto's
Weezer
Africa?
album.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what a weird choice of songs. You're covering all these cool songs, but I mean, that one's cool too, I guess, in its own way, but I don't know.
Again, give me Hold the Line if we're talking Toto. Give me like Africa's a good song. I'm not saying Africa isn't a good song, but I'm also saying there is a video on YouTube that goes by Africa in alphabetical order. Takes the lyrics and makes it, yeah. And like Africa shows up in
Whoa.
the seventh word, and I was just like the mind fuckery for you to sit there and deconstruct the song and then also alphabetize it and then make it into a fucking video. I was just like, that's a level of
That's
fucking
like Rain
petty.
Man shit.
Yeah, or petty, or just fucking petty.
Yes.
Maybe it was like a fucking drummer that got left off when they fucking made the good album, or maybe the lead singer, wanted to mess around with Rosanna Arquette, David Arquette's sister, and whatever, and he was just like, I'll get you, and then waited for YouTube
You
to
get my
happen, and
sister.
editing, and Pro Tools, and shit like that. And it was just like, I got you, I fucking got you.
That took some forethought. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I have to
dude.
wait for you
That's like
to
some
be invented.
evil nemesis shit.
Yeah, Alfonso, you said forethought. I
He's
was
like,
just like,
I'm gonna buy some ad space on Google, and then I'm gonna send it to him unknowingly, and then I'm gonna buy a billboard on a bus that passes by every other lunch.
yes. Wait, who is it? The fucking the hip hop. And again, I haven't listened to hip hop since motherfuckers started tattooing their faces. Because I'm part Fijian. I'm part Fijian. If you tattoo your face, you better do it in fucking whale's tooth, and you better fucking fought a whale or won a war with a fucking club that looks like a
Damn.
tomahawk. If you can't fucking do that, fuck tattooing your face. And also, you don't
You
have
got no
friends
business.
because here's the thing: that person has no friends.
No one tries to
because
stop you.
you guys are a lot more accomplished in your guys' life than I am, but I'm gonna say I've never been more so secure in any of my decisions, that I'm all like, this shit might not work, and I might have to work at a bank in Santa Monica, and for them to not be, scary black guy, right? So I'm all like, tattoo doesn't help my fucking my options. Is what
No
I'm
way,
saying.
dude.
Yeah. So
That's
what
why Frank
I'm
only
saying.
tattoos his butt.
Things that they don't think of. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why.
You say,
from my end.
my wife got on me so bad for talking butt stuff, and it's not in the way that you think, but I was highly influenced by Jackass. And I think
yeah.
Senior year of high school.
Oh, say no
Senior-
more.
Yes, senior year of high school, I essentially ditched school to see every showing of Jackass in Gardena, California, at the fucking $3 movie theater that we had there. Every showing. I'm talking about like 9
Money
a.m.
well spent
9 a.m. Yeah.
there.
Who said I spent money?
Oh,
If you know what time the ushers,
Bro.
take out the trash and you go out, you know how they have the emergency exit,
Yeah.
right? You just wear black.
Yeah.
You just wear black. And no matter what time of day,
Dude, they probably did
It's
see you. They're
dark
just
as
like,
hell
man,
in
this
there.
guy again. Just let him in.
yeah.
At that
Yeah.
point, you're like,
Again. Alfonso, you're the fucking truth, bro. But yeah, but I mean, there was a
I
time
don't get
where
paid
like,
enough to kick somebody out of a $3 movie theater.
yeah, no shit, right? If it's $3, right, and the fucking popcorn's $1, how
Yeah.
much are you fucking making,
that
really?
fool's out there smoking a joint. He doesn't
Yeah.
care.
Oh no, like I went to Bellator when AJ McKee fucking, won the title. Shout out to AJ McKee and the McKees and Team Body Shop.
Yeah.
Good friends, right? But I was there, and I got a COVID test Thursday in downtown LA, right? At a fucking train station. It doesn't sound as bad. It's Union Station. Like John Mayer's Last Train Home was filmed there. Lifehouse is You and Me. A
Oh,
bunch
shit.
of movies and whatever, right? But Thursday, I got the fucking test, right? Because everywhere else wanted to charge like 150. So I found a
Damn.
free one. Yeah, I found a free one. And I asked them, I was like, hey, I got something, I got an event, Saturday. What are the chances that I get this fucking test back? They're like slim to none.
Damn.
Well, fucking 10:40 a.m. And I was supposed to meet up with my homeboy who was going with me at 11. 10:40 a.m. I fucking
What?
I got a fucking negative test that I
That's
saw.
sweet.
I might have called Antonio McKee. It's like, what tickets you got?
Damn. That was smooth.
I'm an
Dude, that
idiot.
just, yeah.
I'm an
Hey.
idiot. But yeah, the Jackass
Wow.
thing, whatever. Me and my friends, they're like, oh, we're going to fucking light bottle rockets out our asses, right? Well, You know, it's like a 45-minute bus ride from where we saw the fucking movie to, you know, one of my friends' house, the closest friend off of the bus stop. And we got the fucking bottle rockets and shit like that. But
No,
everybody
you
started
guys were
fucking-
that down?
Oh, dude! But everybody was dropping out, and this is not a
Yeah.
joke. This is a piece of styrofoam, right?
Okay.
But that might not be a good look, or it might be. I don't know. I live in California. You do
there
too.
you go.
Uh,
You need to
but-
say something.
Yeah. So with that all being said, everybody started dropping out, and when we got the thing, got the matches, whatever, it was only me. And I was like, "Fuck you, silly son of a bitches!" Like, I know, I mean, not silly sons of bitches. I knew all their moms, wonderful ladies, but they may have raised like fucking chicken shits, right? So I'm like,
Yes.
"Fuck it, I'm gonna go." Right?
No way, you
I shit
didn't?
you not. I shit you not. I singed off all of the ass hair as an 18-year-old kid. And I'm like half African descendant of slave, half Fijian, right? There's a lot of hair. It's a fucking moss. I might be fucking growing a fucking lotus flower out my ass,
You
right?
got a mohawk going on.
Maybe it's like fucking major league, right? It's Charlie, right? But yeah, so so it's
So
either
glad
that
I hit
or-
record.
Yeah, fuck yes. But yeah, so since off all the ass hair, and I, pardon the pun, but I shit you not, that the thing exploded like butt, like 2 feet above my balls.
No
If it,
Holy shit.
yeah, fucking, because I had to sit like, and kind of like in almost like a guard,
Yeah, I can.
right? Like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
And-
like a inverted downward dong.
yeah, no, 100%, with my dong flinging in the wind.
Oh.
And yes, so it happened, but I wouldn't. I mean, my youngest son turns 14 on Tuesday. He wouldn't be here if that fucking thing exploded.
Yeah. Shit.
Dude, that's crazy. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, I heard you guys had questions.
All right,
those are out
that's a
the
great
window.
segue.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Wait, you mean those things that
We
the
need
people
to know
fall
more
off
about-
with the two
Yeah.
wheels and shit? I love. You've seen my timeline. I watch people fall off of segways and all types of shit all day.
Oh, dude, you got some great stuff, man. You got some awesome videos.
Dude, thank you. I've talked enough.
Sure.
So
Have you?
go for it.
Nah. Speaking of social media, man, you know, back in the day, like maybe like a year or two ago, Derek Lewis's Instagram was just awesome. I don't know if you followed him,
Fuck yes,
but
I
he's
do.
kind of right. But I feel like he's kind of dropped off.
It's
Like
not
he's
that
not posting
dropped
as much
off.
stuff as he used to.
It's not that he dropped off. It's just nobody. Like for me, nobody kind of gives a shit. Yeah, I mean, like yes, I have a couple thousand followers and on Instagram and maybe like close to 600 on Twitter or whatever. Which I just started. Like when I started the podcast, I mean I've had a Twitter.
Uh-huh.
I've had a Twitter since like 07 or some shit like that. My mom was the one who put me onto Twitter, and she was my first follow. She's still there
wow.
now, even though she passed away
Hey.
in
OG.
2013. Yeah, but I never fucking used it. I never fucking used it until July 1st when I started the podcast, and I had Jacob Rosales, who just fought on the Contender Series. Actually, him and Alondria Brown, his fiance, they just got married yesterday. And I'm not
Dang,
speaking out of
congrats.
Hey,
yeah.
congratulations.
yeah, they posted it on their
Yeah.
social media. Out of CSW, Ben
Hey,
Jones.
Fonzo's getting married next weekend.
Hey, dude, who's your best man?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my boy Philip from down south, man.
Oh, Frank, you got fucked.
Yeah, sir. Yeah,
Frank, you
sir.
got fingered. Oh, wait, that didn't sound right.
The first time.
Yeah, okay, but no.
Or the last.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's a lucky lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucky
okay.
lady.
Yes.
Every,
She identifies.
for yeah, whatever everybody. I'm not good at pronouns. I'm still on like that Vince McMahon pronouns pal from Bruce Richards podcast. But yeah, no, congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys are very lucky to have each other. I've had my wife for 15 years. She's not lucky
That's
at all
amazing,
because she's got this.
Oh,
dude. She's
every
a
day.
very lucky woman.
She can walk
Sunshine.
out tomorrow, and I'll be
Shit.
like, I understand. I totally get it. 70%. Fuck the
Your
half.
Honor, look at me.
Yeah, like fuck the half. You get 70.
Oh shit.
No negotiations. If you want to go to a lawyer, we'll get more for you. I don't care.
What the hell? I get 5%?
Yeah. Yeah, but well, I mean, let's settle it out of court so you don't have to pay the 5% and just get 85. I mean, see, I
Right,
went from
there you
70
go.
to 85. I'm a horrible negotiator.
You're moving the needle the wrong way, Woods.
Hey, it's good. She might be 3 feet away from me right now, so make my words soft and sweet just in case I have to eat them later, which I learned
There
from
you
Jerry
go.
Lawler's commentary on WWE 2K13.
Dang, genius.
Wisdom can come from many different facets.
You're right. You're
Prophetic.
absolutely right.
He's a prophet.
Wait, no, I'm gonna curbside profit with my hand in my pocket, and I'm waiting for my rocket to come. That's not mine. It's Jason Mraz.
Oh, ooh, yeah. I was
Yeah.
about to say. I was like, you got some skills.
No, not at all. I'm like the only darkie in Inglewood that can't rap or sing or whatever the fuck. Like I'm like a Jackson that can, or an Osmond, whichever way you identify, right, as a boy band, but that can't sing or dance, or a Wayans that's not funny. Like it just doesn't work. Like yeah, I'm glad I have this, but like I'm 36 now. It took me till 31 to figure this shit out, right? And it's to over the last year, I've probably grown the most that I've ever. But again, for 31 years, I was like, I'm kind of a loser.
You're crazy, Woods.
Yes.
Hey man, well we're
Yes.
happy to have you here. It's fucking amazing. Dude, we're excited. We're excited for sure.
Me too.
Frank, you want to get it started with some of these questions, man?
Yeah. Let's kick this off real quick. Let's do our little intro here.
Okay.
Yeah, because we didn't tell anybody what we're doing here. We're just free. We
We're
got
free
some
balling.
awesome stuff so
We're
far.
free
So
balling.
don't even
this
worry
is
about it. I'm gonna move
amazing
this.
B-roll,
I'll move
then.
this over later.
Oh,
Right?
Hey, what
This is green room
like
stuff.
like
This
like
is-
like Lois Einhorn and fucking Ace Ventura,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
when
Yes,
laces out and
exactly.
just-
Yeah, this
Exactly.
is it.
Tuck
This is
it.
it. That,
All right.
yeah, the laces
Yup.
are in.
Here we go. All right. Don't fuck it up, Fonzo. I'm gonna count it.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
me, really.
3. All right. In 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jujuteros Coast to Coast. My name's Frank. Today, we got a special treat for all you listeners out there. I mean, super lucky, super blessed to have the man, Adam Woods from According to Woods podcast joining us today. Welcome to the Jujutero neighborhood. Adam, how you doing, brother?
Great, and I'm glad that you said the name of your podcast because I have an Inglewood High education, so I'm not good with the Pohas. Even though I might have played Hanata Larange in a commercial once, but unauthorized.
Dude, I already told everybody we were having Hanato on, so don't even worry about it.
Dude, I was like, when I first started jiu-jitsu up in Bakersfield, not too far from you guys, I was at Matt and
Yeah.
Jill Baker's place, right? And they're like, Hanach. I was like, the fuck are you guys talking about?
What did I do?
So, yeah, so one of my boys was actually, like, he was a blue belt at the time. I think he's a brown now. But he worked with me and was going to Matt and Jill's place too, right? And he showed me, like, when we got back to the office, he showed me the Hanat Toloran show when it was still fucking going on. And I was like, oh my God. So I just, like, I started playing it up and they would say it. And I might have, like, unauthorized played him in a fucking commercial for my boys' fight shop.
Dude, you need You need to make like an unofficial Renato Laranja cameo account and start charging $500 for 30-second videos.
No, because you know
Oh,
what's
I'd,
weird?
I'd
You
pay
know
for
what's
it.
weird? Because I know him now, right? And it's funny because like every time that like people don't know that we know each other, right?
Okay.
And everybody goes like, "Oh my God, Woods, you have to meet Hana,"
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And like we already kind of know each other, right? And the most like the best time was at like High Rollers BJJ in like South Central LA. They held one in South Central. I think that was like the last LA one because they had I think one or two downtown and then the one in South Central. And like somebody
Nice.
fucking grabs me by the hand and is like, "You got to whatever." They lead me to the stage where he's fucking the MC, right? Like not fucking the MC. He is the MC.
yeah.
Burn out,
Yeah.
Sal. Yeah, because he can't fuck himself over when he's already there.
Yeah.
But, anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Probably already tried.
Yeah, I know. Poha. Child support, fruits and vegetables. But anywho, it's funny because like we're talking like, "Hey, how are you? How are you?" And then we fucking start talking wrestling and whatever, and then the
Oh.
fucking the match is going on or in between matches or whatever, and he's whatever, and then like, "Oh yeah, fucking Walter," and I'm like, fuck Ultimate Warrior for that bullshit that he said about Bobby Heenan in his cancer, and he's like, and then he fucking goes back into Hanats, and fucking, that dude is one of the most talented people I fucking know. I so I get like I said, I
Damn,
can't,
just dropping in and out of character at will.
I, oh, it's a character.
No.
Kiz,
It's an alter ego.
No, that's real life.
Kiz Fizz, kid, Kiz Fizz. If you know, you know.
Hey, well, Adam, thanks for joining us, man. Thank you so much. We're also got the brother Alfonso. Alfonso, what's going on, bro? What's going on in
Going
this
on,
South Valley
man?
today?
Hey, we're just chilling. It's a Sunday, fucking great Sunday, fun day. Thank you for having me on again. And T Woods, thank you for being on this podcast, brother. It's just an amazing that you're here with us today. I hope our listeners out there enjoy it as well. And man, it is gonna be a doozy tonight. So thank you very much for being here.
No, I appreciate it. But let's get some things. I'm Woods. Adam is the government name, I guess you would say. I always hated it when people were like, "Oh, hey Adam, where's Eve?" I would literally get into fights with it. So
Shit.
it's always Woods. And then me,
Ooh.
T Wood. I've been saying fuck Tyron Woodley since
Bro.
UFC 209.
My bad. My bad. Let me get that
It's-
corrected.
It's good.
Let's not get
Yeah,
started.
yeah, no, yeah. Or maybe I will identify as one time at Combate before they were Combate Global. They were still
Yeah.
Combate Americas, and they were doing a show in the Shrine Auditorium in LA. Actually, where like Tupac used to play and everything like that.
Yeah.
And the credential on the paper said Adams Wood. Adams Wood.
So,
So-
just your schlong was coming
They got
out.
that
like-
backwards.
just-
Yes. So, you know what? In this world of identification and self-identifying, I'm going to be Adams Wood.
Adams Wood.
I'll-
All right,
I
for the
like
rest
it.
of the show,
Where's-
you're
I like
Adams Wood.
Okay, 10 points. 10 points. 10 putos,
sorry.
motherfuckers.
That's awful. That's awful, man. You guys had one job to do. One job. That guy had one job to do, and he ruined it.
First off, motherfuckers are paying $400 for fucking tickets that I was sitting next to. So I'm not mad at it, right? And again, I know, like, I grew up in Inglewood, right? There's a lot of Latinos. Even when I was, like, born in, like, the Bay Area, a lot of Vietnamese folks, right? So
Yeah.
the name pronunciation. So guess what? Even my mom, right, when she came over to Fiji and came to, like, San Francisco in 82, like, they're like, what the fuck are you? Like a black person with a British accent? This is like 10 years before, or like 7 years before Downtown Julie Brown on MTV.
Yeah.
So they're just like, "What the fuck
Whoa.
are you? Like what even?" And she would get accosted because she spoke English, but the way the people in England spoke it, not American English, right? Like I got in trouble for in school. Imagine San Francisco, well, not San Francisco, Marin County, across the
Yeah.
street, across the way from the Golden Gate Bridge or the Bay Bridge from Oakland, and very liberal, what have you. The first parade I went to was a pride parade, right? And didn't even know.
Okay.
I was like, fucking rainbows. I love rainbows. Like, cool,
Yeah.
woo. Right? So with that all being said, I was used to the way my mom spoke at home, right? So I remember there was a cat that ran in the yard, the schoolyard, right? Mm-hmm. Teacher, there's a cat. But I said the British version, which might be ladies' genitals.
Oh shit!
Into the principal's office I go. Right?
I'm
That
just
is
speaking proper
sorry.
English.
Yeah. At least I thought it was. And like spelling tests were horrible. I'd say like color with a U, and honor with a U. It was all fucked up. And I was born here. I was born in San Francisco. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I had a English Commonwealth mom, right? So, and my dad was just like, yeah, cool, because he's from Indiana. Like, he's just like, oh, I got a wife that's cultured and these little fucking kids that are cultured. Like, hell yeah, like I win, right? So, and then imagine, right? I caught some fifth graders smoking cigarettes at the back end of the yard.
No.
Teacher,
I was just
teacher,
smoking cigarettes.
Oh no!
San Francisco.
Oh.
Into the principal's office I go.
Oh man, that would have been a conversation.
No, it was a conversation. And then the
What
third
did
one,
you
and I
see?
think, what? Yeah, did you see?
I
the little-
can't even imagine that conversation. We're gonna need the
Oh,
police
and
over
what
here.
was worse is I had much like my dad, much like my sister's son, my nephew Gavin, horrible stutter. So it wasn't just like I said it like 3 times in one fucking. Oh, it's so bad, so bad.
Damn, adventure.
For listeners out there, he's referring to the term used for a cigarette across the pond, and it's not a very popular word, especially in California, especially in the Bay Area.
Yep.
Which is why he said San Francisco. So yeah, good
Yeah,
times.
Good
You-
times,
y'all-
or even
y'all-
the
y'all can look
even
it
the
up.
ladies, anatomic reference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not- as I'm speaking to a female yard duty teacher,
Yep.
not the greatest, not the greatest.
No. Mr. Adams Wood,
Yes,
sir.
10 points.
Why don't you? Why, for our listeners out there that may not be too familiar with your show, before we get into these questions, why don't you tell us a little about your fucking awesome show that you put out every day, bro? I've been wanting to get you on this show so bad ever since you allowed me to be on your show, but I'm just like, he doesn't have time. He's got this pro wrestler, and he's got this UFC fighter, and he's got this jujitsu on, and he's got this actress. Like every day, I'm like, oh, there's no way he'd even be able to squeeze us in, bro.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Honest
So
to God, man, you
No.
tell us
no.
about your show.
Okay, so my show's the According to Wood show. You can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I think since July 1st, 2020 to present day, I mean, definitely 480, I think it's 487 episodes of the podcast. Anywhere from 15 minutes to Chris Kloss from, actually, no, it was George Hermosa from the Wrestling Chatter, Wrestling Channel on YouTube. We did 5 hours in the fucking middle of the night.
Damn.
Before that, Chris Kloss did 3.5 hours from XPW, the commentator for XPW and Pro Wrestling Society X, on MTV. And then before that, it was like Zeta Zhang, who's undefeated, mixed martial artist when she did it, and then she was on the WWE Mae Young Classic, and like she wrestles still to this day. So that's the podcast. I was influenced by the Keyboard Warriors and MMA Storytime podcast because they were like, hey, come on, we'd love to have you as a guest. I was like, me? But they had me on, great experience, and they were like, Woods, you need to fucking do one of these. I was like, I hate editing, whatever, I do live shit. And they were like, StreamYard. So
Boom.
I did it, right?
Yeah.
At a time, we got to think July 1st, 2020, where a lot of fucking resources got dried up in the old Woods household and shit like that. And I got to tell my wife, oh, here's another $25 that I'm going to add to every fucking thing else. Right?
Shit.
So it started out as like my way to kind of prove to my wife, like, hey, let's get value. If I do 4 podcasts a month, blah, 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 it amounts to this, whatever. Well, I would hit up everybody, and then they would want to do it that week, that day,
shit.
that whatever. So there were times where I was logging in 12 to 14 podcasts. I mean, at least an hour-long podcast a day.
No
That
way.
is work, man.
Yeah, that is some
That's
serious work.
awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, I am the first person that is surprised that anybody fucking, responds to me. I don't care if you're an indie wrestler, a musician. I don't care what you do. You could just be somebody that just likes the shit they like. Well,
Yeah.
at a time where people need shit, like they've got over the shit that they like and they're bored at home. Well, fuck, like, tell us about the shit you like.
It's fucking good to
that's what
explore.
I'm
you know
talking
I mean?
about.
Hell yeah.
Adams, that's exactly what I was talking about, man. I read an article today by Rogan. Somebody interviewed Rogan, and he's talking about, hey, you know what? I haven't been talking about what's going on in the news just because it's so negative. I'd rather talk about X, Y, and Z. And I usually don't read too much Rogan stuff just because sometimes he's too political. Sometimes he's got some weirdos on his show. But he was talking about how they discovered this footprint in New Mexico, and now they think that humans were around even before that, before we thought. So I'm like, oh, that's super interesting. Me coming from a science background, But that's why we started this podcast, because now that we're friends with Mr. Adam Woods, the Adam Woods, not Adams Woods, we want to share what you guys are doing out in the world, man. Adam, you do awesome stuff. Like, you've had so many awesome guests on your show. One of the main reasons that I wanted to get into podcasting was because I want to hear people's stories. I want to hear about the things that we don't get to see on YouTube, the things that they're not going to share on MMA Junkie or on ESPN, or you're not even going to get to read in a book. For example, a story that your boy, Chris the Crippler Lieben, shared on your show. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. I'm going to save it because it's coming up pretty soon. But, bro, this is why podcasting exists. Oh, that is sick.
I have my friend's action figures. I've got a Barnett one.
That is dope.
And it's just like, why? I don't understand any of this. Like,
Why not? I need an Alfonso and an Adam Woods action figure.
oh, I'm gonna get on Fiverr. Like right after we do this, and
Dude, mine's gonna be buck naked though, without a jujitsu.
again, be careful what you wish
As long as you pay for it. It's gonna be actual size too, dude. So you might want to make it really small. So that
If I'm fitting the bill, again, I'm gonna go off of what I feel should happen. Like ordering shit for your friends on Fiverr is the new, like, oh, you fall asleep and somebody shaves off your eyebrows and draws a dick and Sharpie on your face.
Oh, Adam, I think you just opened up a can of whoop ass that cannot be ever shut. Like, that's gonna be the ultimate shit talker. You're right. I never thought about that. I was thinking like there's a really cool pic of me and Fonzo at a wedding, and I'm like, dude, I need to like have somebody turn this into like a Rick and Morty style. Like, but what you're saying, you just upped the game by like 1,000. Waco, you better watch out, bro.
gave him some ideas,
Oh
man.
no! Like
Yup.
Chelsea May Anderson, who just fought boxing. She's undefeated 4-0 now. I had
Badass.
her on
Congrats.
right. Yeah, not to me. It's her. And she's, trained by a fucking badass and Aaron Sohill, who was an American Gladiator the second time around. When they had not Muhammad Ali, Layla Ali, and Hulk Hogan hosts the second incarnation.
Oh yeah,
of,
I remember that.
Well, do you guys know what Aaron Sohill before the American Gladiators was famous for? Right?
No.
Shit, no.
She was the
Share.
arch nemesis of one Layla Ali. Talk the
Oh
most shit.
shit!
And then now
no
they're
way.
working together.
Damn.
Wow.
And irreplaceable.
Small worlds.
Layla's the host. Aaron's the fucking gladiator. Like you can't.
You can't.
You can't
Yeah.
have one without the other.
I'm just saying, like life is weird sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
absolutely true.
And it's funny because like more people know me from this than anything that I've done in my 5-year career, right? I started out doing promo videos with my friend Bosun Wang, who was a videographer, one of the videographers for Amazing Race and a bunch of reality TV shows. And he was like, hey, like I'm training MMA. I want to fucking, I can do. He tells me I can shoot shit better than Embedded. And I was like, word? Okay, cool. And I was training at Fight Academy with Savant Young and Herb Dean. And for a little bit, Yves Edwards was my fucking afternoon no-gi coach.
No way.
Dang.
That is fucking dope, man.
Now, I only
What?
attended 3 classes, like whatever. And Yves is a friend, and it's just that's a weird one to fucking say. But the first
That
promo
is
video
awesome.
the first promo video that we did was Heinrich Wassemer for Ricky Scraps for Combate America. The second one we do is a guy named D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, right?
Damn.
Who's now
Oh,
ranked
who-
number 15 in
Now,
the UFC.
yeah.
welterweight. Yeah.
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 Miley Cyrus, shoot your shot, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the other guy. That's God, I forgot his name. The bearded guy.
Oh,
fuck.
okay.
I forgot that guy's name. Cuban Missile Crisis is his moniker. I want to say Julian Marquez. Right?
There you go. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
Dang, but
Crazy
UFC
that-
now?
crazy that D-Rod is now in the UFC, right? As is Julian Marquez. Right?
Yeah.
We do 15
Yes.
of them 12 of them for like King of the Cage for Thor Skanky. We do some for Combate. We do some for CXF that is now Lights Out. LXF with Sean Merriman and George Bastamagian and Steve Bash, right? So
Right.
that there's that. Then we were actually in talks with none other than fucking Court Bauer, which again, strange shit because the 2 podcasts that I listened to the most when I had lost my job back in 2012, right? And I was actually trying to get into the military as a way to provide for my family because I felt there was nothing else,
Oh, man.
right? I was losing weight, and I would listen to the MLW podcast along with like the Art of Wrestling podcast. I hadn't gotten into Joe Rogan yet. I was like, I knew his conspiracy theorists, and I was just like, oh, at that time I was still Gentile. I hadn't smoked. I was living a pretty clean-esque life and
You were
shit like
Puritan.
that. Yeah,
You're in a bubble.
yeah. So I was just like, if I unlock that Pandora's box, I'm never gonna return, and that's exactly what fucking happened. But
Wait, so when
That's true. That's true.
when was that unlocked? I'm curious.
I was working at a corporate tech company in Bakersfield, making the most money I had ever made in my life up until that point. And I would we made communication radios for cool shit like Indiana Jones. Like if you go to Indiana Jones at Disneyland, like
Yeah.
the communication radios are in the fucking ride, right?
Yeah.
Well, but then some
Yeah.
uncool shit like, made the fucking cellular devices so the people that are fracking right? And for those who don't know, the hydraulic
Yeah.
fracturing where they
Right.
stick the arm in, make whatever, and then the gas, whatever, is
Yeah,
not
release.
supposed to leak or whatever. But, 2 weeks later, all the fish are dead in the pond, and if you turn on the shower, you're getting fucking third-degree burns.
Yep. Yep.
And nothing is growing and
Water
everything like
stinks
that.
like poop.
Yeah, so
You can light your
I-
water
yeah,
on fire.
Right, and I'm hearing, like, in the board meeting, like, the team meeting on Monday, right? Monday, 9 o'clock, right? Pacific Standard Time. Like, oh, how we're breaking new ground and da-da-da, and we just get signed with this big fucking thing and blah, 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 whatever. And then I float over to the fucking corner office. A corner office that I shared, mind you, with two other people who are above me, right? But still, corner office.
Yeah. Shit.
And I would flip on Vice on YouTube, and they were like, people in Texas, they wanted fucking
Talking
oil and
about-
gas and shit like that. And then we're also like, where the fuck is my rutabagas not fucking growing? And they're praying for rain. And I was just like,
You motherfuckers.
Oh.
y'all don't know. Motherfuckers don't know. It's Lemmings, that fucking game from the
Yeah.
90s? Where
Yeah.
they just fucking
Yes.
Yeah. It's just everybody fucking falls off the cliff, man.
Yeah,
And everybody,
yeah.
like, if you're a vegan, sorry, vegans, but you are killing plants to feed yourself. Okay? Everybody has a justification, right? Like, I want to be, like, the most peaceful person, but I love people getting fucked up. But I will crawl in the fetal position if I stub my toe. Or my 13-year-old
Word.
punches me. My 13-year-old, and at the time he was like 2, punches me too hard, and I'm looking over at my wife and like, get back and punch. I'm like literally like Ross Wheaton fucking liver shotted me, and I'm like, and she's like, "Whoa, you do jujitsu though." Like fuck, man. Like I felt like Rodney
It
Dangerfield.
doesn't help me right now.
Yeah, no respect.
No respect.
No respect. Yeah, no, but so started off doing the videos, was in talks with Court Bauer, with Combate, which, I mean, the MLW podcast, now he restarted the MLW, Pro Wrestling Federation, right? But at that point, he was the closest that we got to the writer's room and Vince McMahon, right?
Holy
It
shit.
was him,
Wow.
MSL.
You're at the
and-
door.
Yeah, right. And now we're talking to him, right? We're talking to him to fucking come into Combate in the production team. And then Campbell might have fired Court.
Amazing.
And then we have no in. But they
Ah,
stole our
shit.
footage.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
But I guess in a roundabout way, like a year and a half later, I get credentials as Adams Wood. So I think it's all better.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it. A cool story, bro.
That's my dream, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
so,
an awesome story.
By
I'm
the
hoping
way,
that
if you
happens
ever-
next year for ADCC.
Huh? What happened?
I,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, I would hope that would happen to us for next year's ADCC. I don't care if it says Alfonso's Completo, Alfonso like with 2 O's.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
care.
Yeah,
But I was
it-
gonna say that if you ever wanted to switch to porn, that'd be a great name, Adams Wood.
Yeah,
Oh.
my wife will not be happy. And again,
Stuck
I live in
Yeah.
an equal fault state. So if she leaves me, she gets half, right? And I'm a bad negotiator, so I'll give her 85 right off the top.
I'm
right?
just saying, Frank had the right idea, man. You don't ever have to do it. You just got to be the face. You get a stunt cock.
And you know what? I don't even have to whatever because the stupid ass deep fakes and whatever. You
No,
guys
that's
saying
true.
it now, and then the freaking whatever. And I gotta
already
explain to
done.
my wife that's not me. Yeah, like oh, fuck.
You already got an OnlyFans page. I don't know if you knew
Oh,
that.
Jesus. Jesus.
Frank, why do you
Uh,
want me to read this weird sentence?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know, right?
We just need
No.
you to pronounce all these consonants and vowels. Then we can grab the rest.
Phonetically. Right? No, so after that, right, it dries up, and we don't get in. And basically, after that, I think I did a podcast with Marcos Bonilla, who fought for Combate, fought for Bellator. Actually, I think AJ McKee's first Bellator win was against Marcos El Matador Bonilla, who now he's like with
history right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy. But we did like 8 episodes on Facebook. Everybody's like, you should go to fucking YouTube. Nobody's ever going to make money off of Facebook. Right? But they fucking gave Will Smith's wife a shit ton. And the one Olsen twin sister that wasn't on Full House, before she got WandaVision or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
The money went her way, right? But we did it 3 years before, and nobody will make money. Right?
You guys were pioneers, man. You walked so Jada Pinkett could run. That's what happened.
I guess we'll set it off. Right?
They better thank you.
Yeah.
You better send a thank you note.
I don't know.
I'm gonna write Jada Pinkett. She needs to write you a letter.
Hey, fuck. You know what?
needs to sign a check.
We'll call it Igual. Jada Pinkett Smith, come on my podcast.
There you go.
We'll be fine. I'll tell you the story. I'll self-deprecate, which, yes, it's self-deprecate. I was told by a Bakersfield Spelling Bee champion that because I was using self-defecate. Right? And I was like, oh, somebody shits on themselves. Right? And
I like that one better.
Yeah.
I like that better.
She's like, no. And I was like, I thought I was smart too. Yeah. And
You're genius. No. See that self-deprecate is smart. Self-defecate is genius. So genius.
I hope
genius.
So. Or just like, people say like illusions of grandeur. And I'm like, delusions of grandeur. It's kind of been my fucking career. Like I'm like, oh, they're gonna sign me. Like ESPN, fucking UFC, Bellator, they'll want me. And then after a while, I stopped giving a fuck. That's the secret to the success, or not, or lack thereof. But yeah, so did the stuff with court and everything. Did the 2 Guys 1 Phone with Marcos Bonilla. Then a bunch of times, my friend Jen Penfield, who is a MMA fighter. She's still a mixed martial artist, but was an MMA fighter that actually fought on Chris Cyborg's amateur card. I think Throwdown Fights.
Dang.
Genesis. Back in...
More history right there.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, right? But her and her cousin, Brett Gilbert, they had a YouTube show called Weighing In Fights and Films, where they basically, would basically do watch-alongs for UFC and break down fight movies like Warrior and shit like that. And, so, like, there's that, right? And then the last 4.5 years, basically going to MMA, mostly, jiu-jitsu, and then even some pro wrestling. Like, I did some cool shit with Heather Monroe. I did an interview with Simon Gotch or Simon Grimm from MLW, former NXT champion with the Vaudevillains and everything like that, with Aiden English, Eddie Guerrero's son-in-law, right? Dang. And it was cool because, like, almost 2 years to the day, he's wrestling for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, GCW, right? And he's on the podcast, and he fucking that's how great fucking Simon Gotch is. Like, he remembered that, and he remembered the fucking promo he did verbatim.
Oh shit!
Like he's a guy. Man. I asked him for an hour, right? That's usually my going, like an hour. First time he does 90 minutes.
Wow.
Second time he fucking does like 2.5 hours.
Holy shit!
Dang!
That's a fucking treat, man.
That's a marathon.
So and he's a lot of people don't like him because he's kind of an out there guy. Like, I think for maybe 20 minutes out of the whole fucking thing, like, we talked about wrestling. We were just like cracking each other up. That's it. And then he had like shitty reception, and then I had shitty reception, and we were like, fuck it, it's a fucking conspiracy. We started talking conspiracy. And it was just like the fact that we could go
Joe
like...
Rogan don't want this to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, how did you like doing this? And then, how did you like doing that?
You guys were really vibing. You guys were having a real conversation.
Just like we're doing here. It's like, and that's the thing. When people like compliment me, it's weird, right? Because it's the thing that I would be. Frank and I, we fucking talk about this shit since we followed each other, right? We talk jiu-jitsu, we fucking talk whatever. And guess what, Alfonso? You're not safe. You're getting the fucking DMs too, good sir. I'm just saying. Right?
All right.
But yeah, so like, it's just that. It's the same thing that I did when wrestling wasn't cool, and I'd be like, fucking, this guy, Thurman Sparky Plug, holy shit, he's coming over from fucking car racing. I don't know what the fuck that is, but he's an athlete. Holy fuck, he's coming to wrestling. Oh my god, right? And then, like, all this like,
Geeking out over the stuff that matters.
right? And the thing about it is like, I, I, I I'm the Mean Gene to him for a fucking indie event. Him and Al Snow, who were tag teaming that night. And I'm still friends with Al and
That's so cool.
And Bob Hardcore Holly's wives, because like, you know, Bob is not on social media at all, right? And you know, Al Snow, he bought OVW, the former, you know, developmental system for the WWE. Plus, he has Collar and Elbow, the fucking clothing line. So he's way too fucking busy. But I keep up with them through them. Like, every time I post some dumb shit, you'll see it in the fucking comments and whatever. And it's just like, holy shit. Fucking Al Snow and Hardcore Holly's wives are fucking commenting.
That's pretty dope, man.
It's a weird fucking thing, man. And it's not lost on me. You know, the people that I get to meet, I fucking grew up, you know, when we moved to LA in like 96 and shit like that. I was listening to Chili Peppers and whatever. And like, as a fucking, you know, like darky, which that wasn't in vogue then. Everybody wanted to be a gangster and show how much they were hustling. That's why I fucking can't stand hustling now. That's why I don't use the N-word, because it's derogatory. I'm like, I like persevering, right? Because like, when you say you're hustling, that's usually a bad thing. Like, let's call the cops. Let's call the 5-0. Because you're probably doing something pretty fucking not good. Unsavory, right? So let's do this. Like, persevering. That's a bigger word that you would have some intellect, right? When people use the N-word or derogatory, like, racial, sexual, you know, kind of epitaph, right?
Right.
But think of the words that could be used, right? Love, man, right? Brother, sister, cousin, you know, like, friendship, all that shit. And we're replacing it for the last thing a lot of people heard, or as they're hanging from a tree, right?
That's fucking sad, man.
Right? So
you're absolutely right, man. Like,
Yeah.
so
you know,
why are we using this? Like, why, you know, like, my mom, you know, it's total disclosure, and I'm not speaking ill of the dead, but my mom had to leave her job at City Hall as one of the mayor's assistants, right? Because she didn't have her papers. Despite the fact she had 2 American-born kids, her ex-husband was, you know, in the military, got drafted into the army and everything like that. She even had the mayor of Inglewood sign a fucking letter to the immigration office.
yeah.
So she had to fucking retire. She died.
That's fucked up,
She
man.
died in illegal, and that's my mom who spoke English. So imagine if somebody. That's why I'm not tripping on Adams Wood, because people who come from other countries that can't speak the fucking language, you guys are my heroes. If you're Afghani, if you're German, if you're Central American, if you're Mexican, if everywhere that can't speak Norwegian, I don't care. Like, that is amazing, because you have to do 2 languages. The fuck, I'm gonna make fun of you because some people can't even fucking speak the one language that they have. Want to be all patriotic and shit, but like, oh,
That's what I'm saying.
let's speak the let's sing the 3rd verse of the national anthem, right? Like, where they it's, you know, Francis Sarkozy is kind of a racist, misogynistic asshole with slaves.
Yeah.
You know, but you know,
Big
hashtag
time.
never forget.
Yeah.
But you know, I went to the Oklahoma City bombing, but I don't get commemorative plates for that because, those guys weren't brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, well, fucking props, man. That just
dude.
it shows
And both of them
perseverance.
tragedies. 9/11, no matter what you think, what happened or whatever, horrible fucking tragedy. Selena Vega, Thea Trinidad in the WWE now. Her dad unfortunately died on 9/11. There was how many people, and then how many people died because of the war that we fucking went on. Trillions of dollars that could have solved homelessness. Fucking everybody would have got what was it? The fucking shit that Yang was trying to propose. The fucking minimum wage, $1,000.
Oh yeah.
Right? which
That's
ended
true.
up happening during the pandemic, right?
Pretty much.
Even
Yeah,
more
pretty
so,
much.
right?
Fucking
College
crazy.
debt would be eliminated. The mental, health for veterans, for homeless people, for total disclosure, like two of my kids, my older kids, the oldest one, manic depressive, bipolar, with a bit of Asperger's, right? And my wife, since he was little, was trying to get services for him. Oh, he's fine. He's just lazy, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's fucked up, man.
yeah,
That's
and
bullshit,
so
man.
these are things that I've seen, and those are things, the resources that supposedly we don't have. Well, it opened itself up whenever we go to war. But
Yeah.
again, World War II is the last war that we were into that we actually benefited from. That's why we get movies like League of Their Own and Rosie the Riveter, because
Yeah.
because like for the Union label, because
Yep.
the money went here. By the time Nam rolls around, well, we've outsourced everything.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
It's all gone.
Yeah. None of the
It's all-
production
Yeah.
happens here.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And we wonder why China's a superpower.
Yep.
Why nobody will say shit about North Korea and the atrocities that are happening there, right? Because they're in bed with China, as we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So it's just weird, And again, I don't want to cause any shit. You guys can cut this out if you want, but
Nah, bro, you need to be on an episode of we started it started off as a segment, and now once a month we do like this episode where we call it 40s with friends, where we get to bring any topic we want. There's no boundaries, there's no box. You want to talk about China, you want to talk about North Korea, you want to talk about science, you want to talk about you could talk about whatever, and it just turns into this conversation where it's a lot of times people are bringing things to the table that we never even heard of, because there's just so much news out there, you know what I mean? But there's things that are important to us that we feel like, you know what, if we brought this to the table, I mean, not that we can really make a difference in all, but I mean, it helps to be aware of the stuff that's happening in this world now.
So that's the thing, right? Making a difference, right? If you feel you're making a difference, then that's it, right? That should be it. If you can close your eyes and go to sleep at night, that is the barometer, right? I'm the worst person to have a fucking podcast because I kind of don't give a shit about the ratings. Like, I've had big names and only like 50 views, right? 12 views, right? But then somebody that isn't a household name, and I will never say, oh, they're not a big name. No, they're just not a household name. I'm not a
Right.
household name. Me, Joe Rogan, I lose out 100%. And there's people that don't even know Joe Rogan. That's why when people are like, oh,
Right.
MMA, whatever. I drove for Uber before the pandemic. There are people in Endeavor that I would pick up in fucking West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, at Endeavor, that own the UFC.
Damn.
No shit.
I was like, oh, they're like, oh, you're so great. Like, are you an actor? And I was like, no, I do interviews for MMA and whatever. They're like, what's that? It's like UFC. They're like, what's that? They work for the fucking company.
You own
way.
it.
So everybody that was like, oh, I just want MMA guys,
Amazing.
or I want jiu-jitsu people. Well, you're only gonna get a fraction of a fan base, right? So that's why it's according to Woods. It's whatever the fuck I want to talk about. I gave myself that out,
Yes.
right? Like the Joe Rogan experience, right? I even
Right.
hate the fact that he does. I know why he does, because people in the comments, the fucking trolls. Oh, I don't want to hear about MMA today. Why can't you have Neil deGrasse Tyson again? Well, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a fucking intellectual savant. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. But I understand why he had to do that, right? Contractual obligations and what have you, right? But to me, like, that's the thing. Like, I have no format. Most people, when I hit them up, right? And thankfully, only one time I've dealt with managers, but I know the manager and what have you. But if I'm DMing you and you lead me like, oh, email me or talk to my manager, okay, next. I become Ariana Grande, not lick a donut that we get paid for, but thank you next. Okay? and I'm not trying to like be pompous or anything like that, but like if I'm talking to you, and then you're like, talk to my, huh? What?
Yeah.
What do we
Yeah.
do? You took the time to respond to me to tell me to go to another person. and
Yeah.
I'm talking to you right now. Oh, okay, cool. I have your number. Like I have your number, and you're okay. I know where we stand, right?
Right.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing. You know, there are times where, like, I've floated in the MMA space, right? There's only a few times that I've made money off of MMA, but almost all the times, unless I work with a production company, shout out to Free Admission Media and the Gym Crashers, it's only those times do they own the concept. But I know, like, this thing that might be worthless to some people now, and they want $20 or $50 for gas and food, right? Well,
Right.
this person could be something. This could be a diamond in the rough. You can do
Yes.
100 interviews that year, but this one is the one that sets your fucking career into another stratosphere because they become something, right?
Right. Right.
So to me,
Word.
yeah, it was worth it, right? But I don't get too into it, right? With people, I'm an interviewer, podcaster, personality. I'm not an investigative journalist. I mean, if
Right.
Luke Thomas is like, I'm a personality. To me, Luke Thomas is the best that does this for MMA. And if he's saying that he's a personality, because look at what fucking John Jones does. I'm not talking to you, Luke. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not just that, right? But it's their gym, it's everybody in their management team. It might be everybody in the fucking division. And you can't interview them now. So what the
Right.
fuck are you going to do until your bosses, well, they're not talking to me. Well, find a way. So
Yeah.
if Luke is getting that, what the fuck am I going to get? Right? Who is more than several rungs down than Luke Thomas, right? So for me, it's about the relationship, right? All the guests that I'm getting now, theoretically, it's because of the 5 years that I was doing this for little to no pay. Now, I got fed, I got a ride home,
Right.
but all of that stuff and all of that work that I did is paying off now. And
Right.
sometimes that's the way it happens. It takes a little time, you know. And I know podcasters that are like, oh, I don't have 1,000, I'm not monetized in 3 months, and they drop off. I know, and nothing, not to be misogynistic, but there have been gals that show up, like in Instagram ass selfie model glory,
Right.
and the spot that the promoter just said that I was gonna get, they get,
No way.
and they're asking other people, myself included, for who this person is.
No
You know?
shit.
So it doesn't. That's the thing. When you get too into the bullshit, right?
Right.
Fucking Hammer, right? Thinks it whatever. Fucking hires the whole block. Whitney Houston kind
Fuck.
of did the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then ends up broke, and then nobody is there to help you out. Like that's it. And that's also why I try to help everyone else out for whatever I have or whatever. You know, I've done close to 500 episodes of my podcast.
Damn.
But
Wow.
theoretically, yeah, just since July 1st. And I'm not saying that to say whatever, but I've also done probably just as much or as more or more jumping on stuff like this
Right.
with you guys. And you guys are great storytellers. I've heard your stuff, which if you guys don't follow Frank and Alfonso, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I do. You guys should too.
Right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
No,
Appreciate
100%.
that.
But, you know, Megan O'Leary does it. Renee Paquette does it. Fucking Yves Edward does it. Den Thomas does it. Bas Rutten does it. Bas Rutten has fucking done it for me. He's fucking cornering his fighter, and then here he does a 3-minute interview. And yes, I could
No.
have talked to him about him, but he clearly wanted to talk about his fighter who had just won. So we're talking about his fighter that just won. And pumping
That's
out his
dope.
gym, right? And that, like, right before COVID, the last MMA show that I went to, I'm talking to one of the other coach. I get a tap on the shoulder. I look over. Hey, buddy. It's fucking Buzz.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh.
again, I have his figure. What the fuck does this make?
That's amazing.
Or talking
That's
to
so
Dan
cool,
Severn.
Adam. But
Uh,
Adam, you're so approachable. You're so cool. You're like, you got a great vibe, man. Your people are attracted to you. That's why people want to come on your show, and you're able to get the stories out of people because they forget they're on camera. They forget that they're being interviewed. It's just a conversation to
Yeah,
them.
it's
and it
just
comes
that's
out
exactly
mad.
it.
And that's
That-
what that magic in podcasting is, man. And that's why
Yeah.
I love what you do. That's why when you got sick, I was like, nah, man, the world needs you, brother. We need what you do because you distract us from those monsters out there that we were just talking about earlier. You show us the positive in the world, and you're not just talking to fighters. You're not just talking to. I mean, it's across the board. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just good stuff that the spirit needs to hear every now and then.
Forgive me, I'm getting emotional because I mean that's that is the deal. You know, my dad was a musician. You know, back in San Francisco, and I think I might have a few of his albums that I got on eBay.
No way.
That's my dad
No
pointing there. Right?
way.
He sold this on in San Francisco for $10 a pop. Well, I've got 4 albums. 2 of them are doubles.
What kind of music?
Contemporary jazz.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons
Bro,
why
we need that.
Well, a couple people have already posted it on YouTube, so and are monetized.
I'll have to check it
so-
out.
so
I'll check
yeah.
it out.
I'll send you links.
Yeah.
Don't even
Yeah.
trip. Don't even
Yes,
trip.
please. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's just like I have this. This is his legacy. When we moved to the Bay, I didn't have these. All of our pictures gone. Somebody stole, or somebody that we trusted stole a
Fuck.
storage full of everything that we had. My dad's equipment,
No way.
all of the tapes, all this shit, whatever. And I had to, again, for 4 of my dad's albums, and 2 of them are fucking duplicates. I had to spend $300 over
That's
the course of
awful,
the
man.
5 years to get my
Man.
dad's work. But I'm glad I would have paid $1,000 for my
Yeah,
dad's work,
yeah.
right? So this is his legacy.
Worth
that
every
he left.
penny, man. Priceless.
So for, you know, my wife and kids, not into the combat sports, and I'm glad because I go down wormholes, as you guys can see, right? And they bring me out of it. You know, my kid tells me about Roblox and whatever, and I bought a few shares of the stock because if my kid is into it, hey, kids across the world are going to be into it, right?
Damn,
Like,
damn.
my wife, you know, sitting me down to watch like a rom-com or a fucking, you know, Barbra Streisand movie, and I haven't seen before because again, I've been so inundated over the course of my life with combat sports, one facet or another, that I don't know. Ask me what a Marvel movie is. Like Frank, I still don't know what the fuck happened to your parlay. Like that's an ice cream, right? Or the yogurt thing that you put granola on, right?
Parfait?
Isn't that the same thing?
I don't know, Frank. What were you talking about? I think Frank cut out.
Oh, Frank. He was saying that something fucked up in his parlay.
Oh, it's parlay. Oh, he was talking about a bet that he made. So when you do a parlay, it's a type of bet that you make when when you're
Oh.
like talking about fights and putting in bets.
See, that's how little I know about the actual world, right? Like,
I don't know about it either,
Parlays?
Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
there he is.
Yeah, we were talking about this parlay thing.
Sorry.
So he thought it was one of those things that you put granola
Yeah, it's
over
not.
ice cream.
Yeah,
The
'cause I was just
parfaits.
like-
Parfait.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I was like, oh, it's kind of cold here. Like, you know, your parlay doesn't fall apart. here,
Yeah.
like whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, how's the weather out where you are?
Falling
He's like,
apart before my
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, and he was just like, oh, it's 80 here, and I was like, that might be the reason why your parlay fell apart. If you go to the fucking parlor,
Nope.
generally they'll give you a new one for
my
free.
parlay's falling apart because the Lions are beating the Ravens 17-16, and there's only 7 seconds left in the game. And the Ravens are favored by like -8. So I lost.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's all right.
Better luck
Live and
next
learn.
time.
It happens. Better luck
Yeah.
next time. No
Hey, my dad was
worries.
a degenerative gambler, so I try to stay the fuck away from it. Yeah.
Good. It's good. I did
yeah.
win last night a little bit. You guys catch UFC 266?
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
we did.
Oh my god, man. What a freaking show.
Man.
But I like to play a little bit on a website called MyBookie, and I got an email from MyBookie a little bit before the pay-per-view was about to start, and it said plus 100 on anyone bleeding on the pay-per-view main card. I'm like, is this what the hell? That's a
Wait,
gimme.
really?
Do they even know
Yeah.
that there's a Diaz on the card? Like play
Or
any
Murphy.
like up anything you want up to $25, and as long as someone bleeds, you get your money. So I was like, oh, that's an easy $25. So yeah. But yeah, there was such great fights last night. Such great fights. I mean, even on the undercard, the Marab fight, the Marab and Marlon Moraes. Oh, that's might be one of the fight of the year.
But also the third fight on the card. You're gonna have me fucking bring up the fucking Tapology. What was that third fight? It was Jesus Christ.
The third fight on the main card?
Yeah, no, on the fucking prelims. That was a fucking Maximov and Cody Brundage. Holy fucking shit, that was amazing. You guys didn't see that one?
I don't think. I think I missed it.
No,
that
that
was
was
the
on
early
the early prelims. I
Yeah.
didn't see. Were they just going at it?
I mean, wrestling, you know, grappling, jiu-jitsu, fucking. I mean, it was a precursor of what we saw in Volkanovski and Ortega. It was also,
my
you know, a
gosh.
precursor to obviously the Marab and Marlon Moraes fucking fight. It was, I mean, up until that point, that was like my fight of the night. But obviously they gave it to Ortega and Volkanovski. But, you know, like, that's why if I buy a ticket to a show or if a show is happening, every fight on the fucking card. I learned that easily because look at Strikeforce Challenger Series. Do you know who came out of that? Two of the biggest stars.
Was that where DC started?
That's one.
Who's the other?
Then who could have been? Was it your arch nemesis T Wood?
No, fuck no. Woodley was already. It's not my arch nemesis. He's just fucking. He bores me to sleep.
He's just a piece
like-
of crap.
I wouldn't say that. He's a father. He's a husband. I don't know, whatever. But like, you piss off Dana White and then have boring fights. Like you can't do. Like you asked for more money and then you fucked it up for everyone, dude. You fucked it up for everyone.
Yeah.
So I can't stand for it. Like I feel like Hall and Oates. I can't stand for that. You know. But yeah. So with that all being said, like I watch everything, and that second person. One Rowdy Ronda
who's that?
Rousey.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
She was on Strikeforce Challenger Series, and then I think she might have had one fight on the main, or she might have they pushed her in with Tate after Misha Tate beat Marlos Cronin for the Strikeforce title, the bantamweight title.
Yeah.
You know, so like that taught me. Like it was a watershed moment. First off, like I love jiu-jitsu isn't the only grappling art. There's catch wrestling. There's fucking whatever the fuck Davidson Figueiredo.
There's judo. There's
judo.
Krav Maga.
Sambo.
There's sambo. Yeah.
So everybody is like, oh, you have to wear a gi to grapple. I'm like,
Nah,
no,
bro.
no. You don't know what the fuck. You've basically been inundated with that jiu-jitsu brain, which is cool or whatever.
Yep.
But that just shows me that the Gracies are great at marketing than you know like anything else. That they
fooled
let
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's why I fucking have Sakuraba shit like all around because I'm like, that's the fucking truth, right? And I just really found out. You know, Sakuraba never won a championship in combat sports until something that he holds now.
What?
You know
really?
what? Other than the Saku belt, right, that he made for himself, almost like Taz and FTW, right? There is one belt that he won over his entire combat career. That's including grappling. That's including pro wrestling, and that's including MMA. Do you know what that title is?
Really? No.
No, I don't.
The All Japan Tag Team Championship. You know, a Giant Baba in Japan.
Oh shit!
Right. When Ricky Dozan passes away, you know, gets stabbed or shot or whatever in that bar, and his two disciples are Antonio Inoki and Shohei Giant Baba, or Giant Baba, who is a former baseball player, right? So they don't like each other. So Inoki starts New Japan, and Baba starts All Japan. And Baba is really of course, Rikidozan, who's actually really Korean, but they thought he was Japanese. He portrayed Japanese, but Rikidozan, after World War II, started bringing American wrestlers like the fucking Destroyer and Dory Funk Sr., right, to get beat by what they thought was a Japanese person. And that's what started Puroresu in Japan. So maybe Rikidozan has some shit with the Yakuza, and he gets shot or stabbed in a bar, and he doesn't want any medical attention. He fucking drinks his sake, and by the time he gets to the hospital, or it's like the Bruiser Brody thing, there's
right.
80 different fucking stories of it, but he ends up passing away. And then his two disciples, in Inoki and Baba, start the two biggest pro wrestling companies, right, in Japan. So Kazushi Sakuraba is only MMA recognized combat sports title is the All Japan Tag Team Championship that he holds right now.
Whoa!
Wow! History, man. That's crazy.
Because he kept on going up and down and out and into every promotion.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Dan Severn, he's got wins in like a fucking Muay Thai fighter, wins in the triple digits, right?
Yeah.
But you there might be 3 people. Nothing gets Dan Severn. He's one of my all-time favorites, right? But not all of them are names. Not all of them are skilled.
Right.
So that's the thing. So yeah. I love it. I love everybody that's like, I'm such a purist. Well, the real the UFC title? Like, MMA On Point did they went division by division, right?
Right.
And they basically broke down the lineal championship, right? Of like somebody going to fight in Pride and whatever. So the heavyweight title that we see now is not the lineal heavyweight title, even though there's like the T champions and Nagano, supposedly the lineal champion, and then the interim and Cyril Gane. That's not even the one. I think maybe Heath Herring or Josh Barnett's title was the last whatever, and they've just basically done a glorified interim title since they left the promotion.
Ever since.
Really?
Wow.
No way.
I'll send you the links. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah. That shit sounds
That
interesting
sounds
as
badass.
fuck. Yeah.
Money talks and bullshit walks. It's the same reason why the International Olympic Committee is trying to get rid of wrestling, because there's not enough viewers in wrestling. Well, fuck, why are you even doing an Olympics?
Stop showing it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and again, let's just stop doing the Olympics, because whether it be wrestling, pancration, Greco, whatever the fuck you call it, that's the shit that you're doing in Greece, ancient Greece, not this
in the
fucking
first Olympics.
walk running bullshit and whatever the fuck.
Dude, what the fuck was that?
Whoa, are you... Don't talk about my ribbon twirling gymnastics, Adam.
I knew there had to be one. And you're the reason wrestling is getting fucking kibosh on the fucking International Olympic Committee fucking tribunal.
There's plenty of room out there for ribbon twirling and men's Greco-Roman wrestling.
Fun fact, Frank almost made it to the ribbon twirling national team. Almost. He was this close.
I believe
this close.
I was living at the Olympic Village in Denver, Colorado.
Ooh.
I don't like talking about it.
Yay,
It's a sour.
Sorry.
I always
brought
wanted
it
to
up,
be
Frank.
one of those. What is it? The fucking synchronized swimmers.
Yeah.
I can't. Like when I swim, I struggle, and I also might be a beach whale.
Big time.
So I float.
Yeah, no, hopefully they get their shits figured out, man. I mean, if they get rid of wrestling, dude, that would be... I mean, we're trying to get jiu-jitsu in, and now they're trying to take wrestling now? That's
exactly what they're gonna do.
Like, that should be a staple. That should be like one of the original events. That should never be removed.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna swap wrestling out for jiu-jitsu. and keep walk running. Because like somewhere in fucking Angola, they fucking love it. It's a whole national sport. In
Who
fucking,
the fuck decides what sports are gonna be in, what goes out, man? Like that's
Who-
the bullshit. Yeah. Well,
NBC?
what kind of sponsors fucking say, hey, that fucking fast running right there? I mean, that fast walking, that's gonna bring in some dollars. What kind of sponsorship does that?
That's the Michael Jordan of speed walking.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I couldn't tell you one person that does competitive lugeing, or fucking curling. Like I couldn't fucking tell you, but you're gonna. Okay, cool. All right. Well, not to. It's just like everybody's like all up in arms at the fucking Emmys or Oscars or Grammys or whatever. I haven't watched that shit since like 99.
Never.
99, right?
It's been a while.
Yeah, like Korn was still getting fucking nominations. Or whatever.
Dude, corn.
Yeah, but if you have to, have me fucking sit through Travis Tritt to fucking get to like 3 minutes of Korn or whatever, that they edit the fucking lyrics, I'm like, I'm good.
Not even worth it, man.
No, not even.
Not even worth it. I'd rather just watch Bloodsport all day.
Well, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport?
No,
Yes.
movie.
Okay.
Or Jean-Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, no, because these two. For those who don't know, Frank and Alfonso are probably two of the most not only articulate but forward-thinking folks. There was a whole itinerary of questions to ask, which I probably fucking talked right through it. And that's what I do, because I cannot remember. But I remember the top of it. So, like, I saw it, and then I also, like, I actually got nervous.
Doesn't
when I got
even
there. I was like,
matter.
I don't
This
even,
is great
I-
podcasting history right now.
Yeah, well,
You
the
know how
thing
many
about it is,
history
like,
making stories you've already told us about?
I hope so. I hope there's some sort of good content, because, like, I literally watched it, and I was like, oh, I got nervous, and I took a shit. And then I came out 3 minutes late. And Frank is like, I'll see you in 15.
5
which is
pounds
like,
later.
Yeah, 5 pounds. Well, dude. Again, fucking purple belt so I can get my Naga title. Fucking A. And I'm gonna get 17 of them. I'm gonna get 17 of them, so I have one more than that fuckhead that Plane Rate from Hell that's showing his ding dong to fucking flight attendants and shit like that. I kind of never.
Are you
was a
talking
Flair
about my
fan.
dog Dexter, who likes taking pictures with his lipstick hanging out?
Oh, dude, did you see the one that I fucking posted of Pugsley?
Yes, that
Oh,
was
yes.
great.
That
No,
shit looked like a
awesome.
fucking. Because somebody
That was
had,
a red rocket if I ever seen one.
Yo, here's the crazy shit.
He was-
Like somebody had just posted, like, oh, it's 100 days till Christmas. So that's how and then my wife.
That's
she
how it
fucking started.
started.
It was like, look at your fucking dog. When I was still kind of quarantined, because I went to GCW to watch Jonathan Gresham against Minoru fucking Suzuki.
Damn.
Yeah, so I had to
Boom.
quarantine again, right? I had to quarantine again. But she, like, I hear the fucking, the guy posts on
Penis
Facebook.
hit the floor.
I don't even know who fucking posted it, but they were like, "Oh, less than 100 days till Christmas, right?" And then I'm like, "Cool." And then my wife sends me the pic. Look at your dog, and I put the two Christmas.
I got you. I already know what to do with
and
this.
and it looked like a fucking, Christmas light, a big ass Christmas light. And they're like, "Hey, look who's ready for Christmas."
He's horny
That's
for
how my
Christmas.
mind works. That's how my mind works.
That's
Like,
why
yeah,
we're friends, Adam. Adam, that's
yes,
why we're
you know
friends,
this,
bro.
right? This is
Yes.
it. Yes. Monkey. I got a monkey. Hold a monkey.
Oh, that's dope.
All right, Adam. What? Oh, what is that?
It's a monkey.
golden
Yeah,
monkey that I found right before I left did a cross country trip from LA to Georgia and back for my uncle's funeral. And we were getting stuff and whatever. We went to like TJ Maxx or whatever, and I saw this. And I'm deaf.
Spoke to you.
I'm deaf, and he is too. So, and it also reminds me, like, I loved fucking Legends of the Hidden Temple back in the day. You guys remember?
Oh
that shit?
yeah.
With Olmec, and they
Yeah.
I mean, history and fucking athletics. That shit is my jam. folks.
I always wanted to be in that show.
Me too. Hell, they're doing casting, right? Alberto, you and me,
They are?
bro.
Let's do it.
Actually, what is it?
drop
Is
you
it
guys.
2 or 3? Is it
Huh?
2 or 3?
We'll do. Fuck
Like
it.
what
we'll
was
do three.
what was the Silver Snakes? They were like 1 or 2. I think 2. So, how about this? Frank and Alfonso, you do it. I'll be your alternate. So, also,
Okay.
also, if you're walking to your car and somebody fucking Tanya Harding's you, Nancy Kerrigan. I'm just saying, I want my fucking golden monkey.
Oh man, that show was like, oh, I don't know if I'd be the smart one or the athletic one. Probably
neither, but
Probably neither.
I'm neither, and I want
Alfonso.
FaceTime.
You be the slow one.
You need
Hey
one.
guys, go ahead. I'm gonna watch.
When the fucking temple guards
watch
come,
the car.
whatever, you need somebody to fucking push that motherfucker through the wall when you don't
I
have
just
any
thought
medallions.
like I would just punch one of the dudes in the nuts. and
Yeah.
just
Oh,
keep
that's
going.
one of the reasons why I don't like everybody. Oh, Fright Fest and blah, 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 whatever. That thing comes to it, I'm fucking it up. I don't give a shit. I'm an actor. I don't fucking care.
Alfonso, stop biting his ankles.
Yeah, bro. Like somebody when I was in high school, they were like, oh, I went to fucking Horror Nights at Universal, right? And these motherfuckers, like, they had like metal grates, right? So like metal here, almost like Lex Luger with the fucking bionic
Yeah.
arm, right?
Oh,
So metal
yeah.
here, metal on their chest, and then metal on their knee pads. So and then like if you be sitting
Oh, yeah.
right, on a bench, right? There's a ramp that they fucking concealed behind the bench. So these motherfuckers on roller skates or skateboards would go up and over you, almost ET style, and then when they would land, it would spark because they have the fucking metal
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm all like, that motherfucker flies over me and fucking sparks me, it's on. And I'm not. It's like
I'm
Jim
shooting at
Cornette.
Double A.
I'm like, I can't fight, but I know I can fuck you up. You guys have seen Never Scare a Black Man, right?
No.
No, what's that?
No.
I don't think I
A
have.
YouTube
Oh
video?
my
But now I want
That
to.
that is like the most classic fucking YouTube video. Like that and Kimbo Slice videos was the first things that I saw. My sister told me about this thing called YouTube, and I was like, is it like MySpace? Because if it's not like MySpace and Tom's not there, I'm not fucking with it. But I saw fucking yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but that is one of the many homework
All right.
and one of many links that I'm going to fucking send you. Is
Yeah,
Never Scare a
that-
Black Man.
Yes.
I've been trying to write these down.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just actually remind
already ran
me,
out of
and I
paper.
will. Yeah, remind me, and I'll send you the links. That's
All
what we're
right.
gonna do.
All right.
Yeah, but fuck, I mean, you guys did so much fucking shit. I feel horrible to not get into the question, so I think we should.
Don't even worry about it.
You sure?
Don't even worry about it.
This is
I was like-
golden.
I
We're
was like, how
probably
am I?
gonna win an Emmy in podcasting for what we already have right now.
I hope so.
telling you.
Or get canceled.
Yeah.
Hey, there was some shit that I said on Instagram Live.
I don't
like,
even check the ratings, so who cares?
That's
don't
the
matter.
best way. Like the minute that Joe Rogan,
Right.
Joe Rogan didn't give a fuck. Like Joe Rogan didn't give a fuck.
You know what?
Right?
I don't give a shit because every week, no matter who we're talking to, I'm having fun, and I'm meeting somebody that I usually don't know, or I mean, you know what I mean? Like I just like meeting new people. You know what I mean? So to me, as long as I'm having fun, I don't care if it costs me money. I don't care if it costs me time. I'm having so much fun right now, Adam, and I thank you for joining us, man. I love
Yeah.
this conversation right now, man. I'm loving the vibe, man.
I appreciate it, but it's because you two are such good. Because that's the thing, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, but sometimes you gotta know when to. Like, there are fighters, right?
Right.
Where I just sit back and let them cut a promo, and they're fucking great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there's some
That's
guys
an
or
easy
girls,
interview.
right? Yeah, those are the things I love. It's like I just have to fucking sit there and look like, I'm not look interested because I'm legitimate. Like I don't like Blake Troop is a guy who I never ever have to go. Oh man, I might have to fucking like be spackle this shit
Yeah.
because I don't whatever. He always comes with fire. That's why he's a 2-time He's like a 7-time Naga champion. He's a, what is it? He's commentated for Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. He's a wrestling commentator for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and Primetime Live or whatever. But he contended for both the heavyweight lights out extreme fighting championship as well as the light heavyweight 2-time title contender. But that is a guy who's always creative. He's always like about that fucking life. And theoretically speaking, we might have seen him in the cage for the last time because he's getting so many opportunities outside of MMA that he can't.
Right.
You can't do a fucking fight camp when you're getting ready for a movie or commentating and shit. You need your faculties, right?
Right,
Tom
right.
Lawler, Shayna Baszler, Matt Riddle, who else? Gil Guardado, who's training Moxley, right? Like, those are MMA folk that are, Dominic Guarini. He's like I think even a purple belt in jiu-jitsu that is fucking doing shit like raking money, just fucking tossing people on their head in pro wrestling.
Fuck.
But you go to IBJJF and you got to fucking spend $200
Damn.
for a medal.
Yeah, that's
like
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$30 because
Maybe.
of their fucking
Yeah.
group pricing, right? So like I tell guys and girls this all the time. Do you want to be a fucking fighter? Cool. You might be drinking through a straw by the time you're 35.
Fuck,
Do you want to be
man.
an entertainer? That's one of the reasons why I cannot stand Curtis Blades. He got all fucking butthurt. Oh, I'm a true martial artist. When fucking, Brock came in and pushed DC after he won the fucking title from Stipe, right?
Yeah.
And even Dana White was like, he was like, oh, I'm a fucking real martial artist, whatever. I shouldn't be looked over, blah, 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 right? Dana White was like, you know what fucking, true martial artists get? You'll be teaching judo at a fucking, strip mall to little kids. That's not what I need. And how long?
Yeah.
Dude, I was doing weighing-in and fights and films like 4 years ago when Curtis Blades made his fucking debut, right? And he can fucking cut all the weird shit in his hair and whatever the fuck and grow his beard and whatever the fuck, right? He's trying to be provocative, right? It's just the same thing when the fucking Red Pony Night with Connor and RDA happened, right? And then you see fucking
Yeah.
Kevin Lee
Yeah.
and Michael Chiesa try to do it, and it went over like a fart in church, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so not everybody can do it, but like you have something, right? There's Kat Paprocki. She said it on the podcast. I'm not speaking out at school. She was supposed to fight for LFA last Friday, and unfortunately her opponent pulled out and what have you. So, but she has a stutter, and she was apologizing before the podcast and was like, "Oh my God, like I'm sorry if I stutter. That's just what happened." I was like, "Fuck that. We're leaving it in because I
Yeah.
fucking stutter."
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
stuttered since I was learned how to talk, right? I've had a speech impediment forever. I'm the last person that should have long form conversations with anybody or a short form conversation with anybody, right? The last person. I will tell you that. But I'm all like, there's a kid struggling,
Yeah.
getting bullied. There's an adult struggling, getting bullied,
Yeah.
right? Because they stutter.
Yeah.
And they're going to listen to you. Maybe
Yeah,
not
that's
today.
true, man.
Maybe not tomorrow. 3 years from now.
Yeah. I
And
started like a
because-
motherfucker all the time.
Yeah. And that's actually a sign of genius. There's so many fucking thoughts running through your head.
Trying
that
to run
your-
now.
Yeah, your brain is overworking what your mouth can conversate. Right? So that's it. That's actually a sign of brilliance. But again, in society, we've looked at what should be a positive and looked at it as a negative. Right? It's just like somebody that might have been born with a birth defect. Right?
Right.
And then, Salem witch trial. Oh,
Damn.
we're gonna fucking drop you in the fucking sea because you were born with red hair, and we're all brunettes or we're all
Yeah.
fucking blonde hairs, right? And drop you in with a fucking stone attached to you, chain you up to a stone, and if you don't fucking float, you're not a witch, but you die. You die. But then if you float up to the top for some reason, they'll shoot you.
Yeah.
So
You die anyways.
right. So if that's the case, and you're gonna die anyways, let's leave the shit in. Let's get weird. That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I don't clip up my show, because I don't want anybody to take anything out of context. Anything my guests say, because they're trusting me to get their story out.
Right.
Right. Anything that I say. Right. And Rogan runs it. Anybody that does a podcast. Right. We do something today, and we say and believe something. Whatever. 3 years from now, we don't believe that way. Right. And it
Right.
gets canceled. Right.
Yep.
I mean, it's
True.
happening. It's happening here, or Pershing Square, in downtown LA, which is a pretty prominent, square. And I mean, like, they have concerts over the summer, like, all the time pre-COVID. I actually saw B-52 with my wife, kids, and my sister and nephew.
Hey.
I got to see the fucking B-52s and talk about Rock Lobster and fucking Love Shack and dance with my fucking wife, kids, son, sister, and nephew. One of the greatest joys of my life. Well, they
Such a
find out
fun
that,
song.
yeah, but they find out that unfortunately, their Pershing, the guy that it was named after, was engaged with some misogynistic, possibly racist shit, right?
Damn.
So they want to change it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, right? But see, the thing that we do today, the legacy that we have today, right? We're gonna do the best we can, best work we can, best relationships that we have with people, romantic or otherwise.
Right.
Your brothers, your sister, your parents, your brothers, your play uncle, your godmother, your padrino, your padrina, like all of this shit. Try to have the best relationships that you can, right? And that's it. That's it. And it's so crazy how. And my wife kind of brought it up to me. And if you've heard any of the fucking shit that I've done after my COVID kind of, debacle, which I almost died 12 times, and people have called. They were like, "You're faking," as I'm shitting myself. I'm
Fuck.
Oh
literally
my
shitting. I have
gosh.
no control over my body. I look this way, I shit myself. I look the other way, and I'm fucking drenched in sweat. I look the other way, I can't breathe. I can't breathe,
Fuck.
right? The
Oh my
fucking,
gosh.
I have
man.
my wife and sister bought me a nebulizer, right? And then I got claustrophobic in the fucking, with the mask on my face. And
Damn.
almost threw up in the fucking mask, right? So,
No.
yeah. So, I mean, these are the things. But people were like, oh, you're faking. Right? So you can't convince
Well,
everybody.
that's the message
Right.
that a lot of people are saying out there. That was something that we wanted to talk about. What's something that you want to tell people about you being sick out there that you think people need to know?
It's a motherfucker, man. And here's the thing. My son, 4 days after I got it, he got it. Asymptomatic. Was fine. He probably put $80 on GameStop on my wife and I's bank account.
Shit.
He was fine. He was great. Playing fucking Roblox and doing his online. He never missed. Like, that was the week that school started, and he was already doing online school like November 2019, because the school
Right.
that he was going to, just in terms of academics, wasn't there. So we were already in homeschool. So nothing changed for us, right? So it was just a number of people now doing it and whatever. But
Right.
he's back to it and whatever. He never missed a day of school aside from the days that we ended up taking the tests, right? And that's it. So I kind of like, believe it, don't believe it. Think it's a hoax, don't think it's a hoax. Get vaxxed, don't get vaxxed. You ultimately are going to do the best thing for
It's your
you.
life.
It's your life, but also you're gonna live with the consequences of such things, or you may
Yeah.
not. I heard people like, "I got it and I'm fucking great." Yeah, but that's not my story. There was a couple times
Yeah.
where somebody had, because what was going on, my wife was kind of cryptically going like, "Oh, pray for our family." Oh, I don't know, whatever. So she was already fielding calls, and I've got family in, here in the States, Indiana, Las Vegas, Georgia, blah, blah, her family, my family in Fiji. So she was already fielding calls, and I was just like, she already has anxiety that this is going on. She already had anxiety. Like, we hadn't really fucking been out the house since March 7th, 2020. Right? She got it in November of 2020, and it fucked her up. Like, I mean,
Oh,
not as bad
man.
as mine, but like her allergies are like on roids. You know,
Fuck.
like it's fucked up. I have a friend, Jackie Gone, friend of the fucking podcast. She's like a third degree black belt in some traditional martial art and what have you. And this is by her husband's fucking estimation. She ran 5 miles, even when she was pregnant with her kids. If she
Oh
couldn't run it, she
man,
walked
she's a
it.
beast.
Right. She couldn't go 10 feet from their bed to the bathroom, which is exactly what I had. The arms, the body aches are fucking real. My fucking in-laws are going through it right now. You know? So,
Oh no.
and they might be fine, or they could not. I know people that are unhealthy that have got it, been fine. People unhealthy, got it, died. I know people
Right.
that are healthy as shit, got it, fine. People that aren't so lucky. People who do jujitsu all the
Yeah.
time. You know, like it's such a fucking weird one, right? So do what you can for you. If you want to fucking like when I went to the thing with the the deal with Minoru Suzuki, the GCW, I literally packed. I bought off of Amazon 2 Tyvek suits. I was fully prepared to look like one of those Intel Pentium fucking people from the commercial. Boom, 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 boom. Right? But I wore double or triple mask. You know,
Yeah.
um, I had a Gatorade because I was just like, I
Hydrated.
did dehydrated. But I walked outside. I asked the security guards who were fucking cool as shit. Shout out to the security at the Ukrainian Cultural Complex in East Hollywood. They were cool and like that. Everybody was respectful of the space. Some people didn't wear masks. Some people did. Too Cold Scorpio, one of my heroes, like from back in the day. WCW, him tagging with fucking Marcus Alexander Bagwell before he became Buff Bagwell, like eons before he became
Damn.
Bagwell, right? Like he was there. He wrestled with the fucking neck thingy, the thing, like
Yeah.
gator or whatever.
Yeah.
That's weird because I know alligator, and that's not an
Yeah.
alligator, but whatever. Nothing makes sense. But yeah, he wrestled in it. So that's the thing. They were good enough. I was like, I don't feel comfortable. I showed them my COVID like negative test, but I showed them my positive ones, and I was like, this is my deal, whatever. And they're like, cool. And I drank my fucking Gatorade, fucking decompress, and I went back inside. You know?
Right.
So that's the thing. If we could just make concessions for each other, right? Just respect each other a little bit more. My wife put it to me like this, and it's a way that I never really got, right? But she's like, and she's not even political, right? She's probably one of the least political people I know. The less like media news consumption. I grew up like my grandfather in Fiji was like the first Fijian-born broadcaster. My dad, my uncle,
Whoa.
yeah, my uncle and my grandfather started the Fiji Post in '88, which was the first non-governmental, newspaper in Fiji. Now they later sold to the government like 3 years later, but
Oh
that's
wow.
kind of the lineage, right? So with that all being
They
said,
started it.
yeah. So with that being said, like I consume news like whatever when we first met. Not anymore because everything is skewed one way, right wing, left wing, blah blah blah. Nobody's got the truth. Everybody wants to get the
Totally.
same news,
Yeah.
right? Like I was even making the analogy. Like I've got a 13, he'll be 14-year-old on Tuesday, and you know how we're like, we eat. He eats what we like, right? Well, we reference that to the fucking live commercial with Mikey. He really likes it.
Yeah.
Well, his generation is not going to have that uniting thing because when you jump on YouTube and you get a commercial, it's skewed to whatever the fuck you were watching before.
Oh shit, you're right.
So there's no connection at all of this kind of fucking generation, this next generation coming up under us.
Wow.
There's no unity. Oh, I like this band. Well, I like this band you've never heard of because there's the internet and you can find everything. So there's
Hmm.
no
Yeah.
like, oh, I bought this album. You want to listen to it? Because I bought it and I know you don't have the money, so let's listen to it and fucking sharing the headphones as you're sitting on the bus together. Uber, Lyft. I was part of the problem, right? You you don't go to fucking you on the bus with people. You jump in an Uber, right? Again,
Yeah.
unless you're in a pool, which is awkward as fuck, right? Like, like that's it, and you never know. Like, I actually would turn the radio off because I could not gauge what the thing. This guy looks like he might be, country western guy, but he also, I picked him up in West Hollywood, which is a different type of cowboy. Then there's,
I
this
like
guy.
NSYNC.
Yeah, like you just don't know. And then somebody plays something, and I'm like, oh, whatever. And then I put it in my Bluetooth and whatever, and everybody's jamming. 5 people or 4 people aesthetically, you don't think go here. It's the Bianca Belair. You don't go here, right?
Right.
And they go here, and in
Yeah.
that fucking moment, it's just like this is what life is. I don't know any of their religious affiliations, what they identify as, what political preference that they or any of that. We know this one song,
Right.
right? Various ages, right? Some are 45, some are 70s, some are 12, some like you don't know. Sitting there with his mom, you just fucking don't know, right? But that's the thing. And my wife, like I said, she broke it down to me like this in a way that I could understand, right? Like cult personality. Well, let me talk to you in a language that you could understand. Well, she goes, okay, what are conservatives? What color do they abide by? I was like, red. Is that cool? It's like, okay, liberal Democrats. What color? Blue. What do you get when you put red and blue together? I was
Purple.
like, I don't. You got it, I didn't. Right?
Purple.
Which is in your guys' wonderful logo that's right
Yeah.
above my head. And she's like, what? Obviously, I'm embellishing it because my wife doesn't curse much. Only when she's talking to me because I make her curse. I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. But with that all being said, she's just like, what the hell do you think Prince is talking about in Purple Rain? Here we are shaking our asses or getting emotional or fucking
Oh
putting it on
shit.
the mixtape for somebody that we liked, right? But you say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. Let me guide you to the Purple Rain, right? It's all love.
Wow.
Doesn't matter where you were born, what you identify as, whatever. You don't have to understand each other, right? You don't have to agree with each other. Just love. And again, going back to the racial epithets, right? The N word, right? We replace the N word with love, respect, friendship, honor, all these things, brotherhood, like love,
Right.
right? Like somebody who had a child with somebody. Oh, he's my N word. Oh wait, is that person a slave to you? Like, what are we like? Philosophically, I'm just a miss, right? How a
Right.
lot of people like Nipsey Hussle, right? And I
Yeah.
don't want to speak ill of the dead, right? But Nipsey Hussle wanted to bridge the gap between South Central and lower impoverished neighborhoods to Silicon Valley. Well, if
Right.
somebody was a purveyor of Nipsey Hussle, this is a person who gang ties, tattooed face, said N word. So if you go into a Microsoft, let's say, or any Silicon Valley tech giant, and you want a job, and you know what it's going to mean for your family if you get the job here. It's like that McDonald's commercial of Calvin. Calvin made it because he
Oh,
works
right.
at McDonald's, right? Hey, Calvin, right? You become the Calvin of your community, but you got
Right.
tattooed face, a record. Doesn't matter what you scored on the SAT. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have, right? Unfortunately, you just
True.
scarlet lettered yourself, right? And then
Yeah.
look at his funeral, right? Up to that point, up to that point, this is before Kobe passed away, right? But
Right.
up to that point, the only other person to have the memorial at Staples Center was Michael Jackson. Star-studded affair. John Mayer, like the people that performed and spoke, fucking nuts. Hell, Kobe and Magic, you know,
Yeah.
spoke, right? Well, Nipsey Hussle's funeral, they turned it to a fucking backyard boogie, right?
What?
N
Yeah.
word this, N word that. You had people like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube who have breached the fucking pop culture lexicon. I was scared of those two when I was growing up.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah, you're right.
gangsters.
They were.
Fucking Ice
Absolutely
Cube
right.
with the fucking deadly Jerry curl.
Yeah.
I never laughed at Coming to America and Eric LaSalle's character because I
Yeah.
saw Ice Cube before I saw Coming to America, and I was like, oh, that motherfucker's a killer.
He's a killer.
He's a killer, right? And look, are we there yet? He's getting his ass kicked by little kids, right?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is doing shit with Martha Stewart, right? And
That's
guess
the
what?
weirdest motherfucking pair ever.
Right, but it works, right?
Yeah.
They've made millions of right before my me getting COVID, my nephew was playing in Snoop Dogg's league in Inglewood. He's the kindest motherfucker you could ever meet.
Right.
Like he was actually coaching kids and like cool as shit. Anybody who wanted to take a picture or whatever. And this was actually funny enough during the Olympics when he was doing the shit with Kevin Hart. And I go,
Oh, right.
I go, damn, that shit with Kevin Hart is amazing. He goes, thank you, sir. Snoop Dogg has no reason to call me sir.
Right. Wow.
I'm younger than him
Yeah.
by like 12 to 14 years. He's taller than me. I'm 5'9". He's more every fucking box that you can check. There are so many more boxes that Snoop Dogg is going to check versus me. But he's so humble, taking a picture with anybody. He created the fucking league to give people, this next
Something to
generation
do,
a
yeah.
better way out. Right? Since he started the league, he's actually already had people go to the NCAA and in the NFL now.
No
Right?
way.
He's been doing it that long, right? So with that all being said, at Nipsey Hussle's memorial, you can go back to it. It's on the YouTube. You have the two that fucking shed the hood, and I'm not saying shed the hood. I'm very proud that I grew up in Inglewood. In many respects,
Right.
Inglewood is more my fucking hometown and the longest place I ever lived than San Francisco, where I was born. Right? I detest the Inglewood always up to no good because there are people there that were raised there without any family members that might have been crack babies,
Right.
that might have been adopted, that might have been 3 generations of people who had never left their fucking block.
Yeah.
When I came in 96 and I told my friends I'm going to Santa Monica, they were like, what's that? I lived in Inglewood. Santa Monica is literally 15 minutes away or 45 minutes in traffic. Right?
Yeah.
How sad.
They'd never even fucking
Yeah,
left
that's
their block
awful.
for 3 fucking generations. They'd rather go to the neighborhood liquor store on the block than go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or any of the fucking shit, which would be cheaper. Right? That's the thing. And now those people are parents. They're doctors. They're lawyers. One of my friends, Chris Johnson, is the horn player for fucking Beyonce.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, like Lawrence Jackson, right? Fucking set a shit ton of records at USC. Then got drafted. Pete Carroll leaves USC to go coach the Seahawks, and then Lawrence Jackson gets fucking drafted to the Seahawks to play a season for his college coach, and then ends up going to Detroit. And then ending his career. But he also he knew that he had some sort of foot injury, that his time was short to make the most that he could with it, which I feel he did. He's in my fucking graduating class. Inglewood High School 2003.
Wow.
He's actually voted class clown.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, it's set the world on fire. He's got records that still stand to this day at USC, like most tackles. Like he was like a left tackle or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know the positions anymore. I haven't watched NFL or any other sport other than like combat sports for at least a decade now. So
Wow.
but those are the things, right? Fucking D-Smoke, Davion Ferris, right? Davion Daniel, whatever. They were in either in my graduating class or in high school the same way. And I think there's 3 Ferris brothers, right? Well, I found out later that they're just like me. Their mom was a musician, still a musician, but taught them all music and what have you. D-Smoke, I can't remember which one, but that one is the one who graduated in my graduating class with Lawrence Jackson, and Chris Johnson, right? And he won that Netflix show. It was like a hip hop version of like The Voice or American Idol or whatever. He won that show. Like he's sold a shit ton of albums. Been on iTunes, Billboard charts. Who's the guy that the boxer guy that he wore all that shit for the fight with Fury, Tyson Fury, and he
Oh,
was like,
Deontay
oh,
Wilder.
Wilder. Well,
Oh shit, yeah.
it's D Smoke who's rapping him out. I went to school with him.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So most people are like, "Oh my god, you're doing so many awesome shit." That's just the people that I graduated with. My Inglewood High School fucking yearbook doesn't even. There's a pin, like a pin, fucking size, pinhead size picture of me, right? And that was because I was in ROTC, and it's an ROTC group picture. You know why? Because my mom's credit wasn't great, and even though the fact that she was working at City Hall at Inglewood, we were at fucking a motel because her credit was shit and couldn't pay 3 months worth of fucking rent, deposit, and whatever, and didn't have the credit to boot to get an apartment, even though she made the money. That we lived in fucking like drug fucking fields, people having ODs, fucking hookers banging their
Damn.
johns, whatever. And so we were doing this, and we had a PO box so we can stay in school, right?
Yeah.
Me and my sister could stay in school, and we checked it on the wrong days, right? So I missed both the the high school what a class picture or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the remake because
Oh
of that.
fuck. So
Right?
there's just like a tiny
Wow.
little picture of you
Yeah.
in that yearbook.
Yeah, that's it, right? But that's just the what I grew up around. That's not even including the doctors, lawyers, and what have you of when I went to school in in the Bay Area, right?
Right.
That's not including my dad, whose tapes that I have here, and he played the fucking the opening party for Sci-Fi Network way back in like 91, 92, right?
Wow.
He played the launch party. That's not including now with this crazy life that again I don't know what the fuck how I got here, but I have mixed martial artists like the best at their craft, right?
Yes.
Right.
Do you know how much anxiety I get just going across my fucking timeline? And that was even before the COVID happened and I was hallucinating and I saw the fucking aliens. Right? But it's anxiety inducing because I see so many people doing awesome shit, making money, making legacies, whatever. So people ask me, why the fuck do I do what I do? That's why. And I will
That's what's up.
always feel inferior. That's just kind of the albatross. That's the fucking gorilla on my back, right?
So it's
That's
like imposter syndrome. Is that what you're referring
that's
to?
somebody actually said that. And one of my friends, Julian Smith, who's a chemical engineer in his own right, he's
Yeah.
like, that's exactly what you have. And I was like, yeah. But here's the thing that I can do just as well, better or worse than anyone in the world. And it
Yeah.
comes naturally to me. Now, it
Yeah.
always didn't because I had a stutter and it was only the last 5 years, but I've grown in it to the extent where I have people that want to talk to me, that I get blessed to be on this very podcast. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But good.
Hey
Doesn't.
man, but I mean,
No.
it's an amazing.
No, Adam. I mean,
go ahead, Frank.
no. Continue, Fonz. Go for it.
Oh, I was just saying, man. It's an amazing experience just to talk to you. You know, obviously, you've had your experiences when you were young. I mean, it was a rough come up. It sounds like, but at the same time, man, like I think that's what all that gives you the perspective that allows you to talk to all these different types of people. I mean, and connect with different types of people. And the fact that you can do it with such positivity, I think that plays a lot into your success, into why you get along with so many people. So, we appreciate you. It's been great talking to you today. So, yeah.
I'm gonna
fucking-
Mario Yamasaki you, and I'm not telling him just let them fight to the death.
Hey.
Yeah. This that. I mean it. I take this. Just this past Thursday, I was on After 83 Weeks, the Eric Bischoff podcast with obviously Eric Bischoff, but Christy Olsen and Steve Kaufman. Steve Kaufman is a fucking. all of the Conrad Thompson podcasts, the Arn Anderson show, Jim Ross, Bruce Pritchard. He runs the YouTube for all of that shit. Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, whatever. Again, those are friends. I'm gonna be on
Yeah.
Flobo Boyce's podcast tomorrow, right? These are, to me, it's all the same. It's
Yeah.
all my friends that want me. You know, it's just like sometimes it's the hardest thing to get your friends, right? It's just, if you sell Herbalife, if the Herbalife coach says, go sell it to your family first. You take it to your family, like, fuck you, puto. You know? Like
That's true, man.
Yeah.
They'll be the first ones to hate.
Yeah. You know, but it's just like, as long as you believe in what you're doing, right? It's never the big guess. It's never the views that you think you'll get. It's never the sponsors that you're trying to attract, right? It's that conversation. It's
Right.
the interpersonal communication that you have with people, right?
Yeah.
And it's people
Word.
that might have a say somewhere. And because they have a say or influence or followers or what have you, there's something in there that somebody could use. And if
Yep.
one person could use something, I don't care if it's now, I don't care if it's 3 weeks from now, 3 years, 30 years from now, or we're all on fucking, what is it, the fucking Neuralink and whatever, and teleporting the fucking shit to each other.
That's coming.
It's the 100%, right? But it's the pride, you know, in what we're doing, right? Because and people are like, oh my god, you do so many fucking podcasts. And I'm like, I drove pre-pandemic 12 hours, 7 days a week for the most part, right?
Fuck.
And in between that, I was doing
Damn.
I did the fucking and that wasn't me. It wasn't my credentials. Shout out to Kayla Bailey. I think fuck. You know who you are. You know who you are. She got married since and what have you. But she's great friend and what have you, and she invited me to cover the open workouts for the second Canelo Triple G fight at Bank of California Stadium in downtown LA, right?
Damn.
And that was cool because like I'd never been to the Bank of California Center. I still haven't. Aside from that, you know, fucking Oscar De La Hoya, you know, fucking fit the bill for everything that we ate, right? And I get all access, like whatever. But also, you know,
Wow.
there were, you know, out of 300 people get credentials, there's only 12 people that get the interviews, right?
Damn.
Right?
Whoa.
And even after that, like, event ends, Triple G is amazing. Like, people were throwing shit to him to sign, right? And this is a soccer stadium, right? LA Football Club Stadium, right?
Oh my gosh.
He basically, before he gets out of the ring for the open workout, he basically gets one of his handlers, like, oh, they're throwing shit at me. You catch it. So
shit.
basically, as Triple G was heading back, the people on the floor with him, as well as the fucking nosebleeds. This is a 2-tier fucking stadium, right? Handler caught it. He signed it. Handler threw it back and caught every person.
Whoa.
Damn.
This went on for like 20
That's a
minutes.
people's chat, man.
Yeah, I fucking, you know, I have a signed, out of the many memorabilia pieces, which is fucking crazy. I have Brooke Mayo's first California, like the state title, the first ever women's bantamweight California state title, you know, won at that you know, Chris Cyborg show, right? That Chris Cyborg show that my friend Jen Penfield, whatever. I have her fucking title, the first fucking first bantamweight fucking title
Damn.
for California is
Damn.
sitting in my trophy case. Frage Estrada signed his camo, his amateur glove, gave it to me. Like Blake Troop, I have his fucking grenade chain. Like, it's just, it blows my mind. I have a jacket signed by the Great Muta, CM Punk, Rocky Romero,
Oh, dude.
and Minoru Suzuki.
That's.
I don't understand any of it, you know? But the thing about it is, again, you encourage everybody. I don't think there's enough podcasts, right? I went to radio school back in the early 2000s, and I went 4 hours each way on a bus from Inglewood to Huntington Beach. I couldn't say fuck.
Damn.
Couldn't talk about wrestling for 45 minutes or just go on a fucking rant like I did here with you guys, right? Right? If there was dead air, there would be a $5,000 or $50,000, depending on where your fucking radio station was
Yeah.
on terms of strikes. If there's dead air, your career is over, right?
Ah, man.
So that, right? I take all that to say, now there's none of that. We don't have FCC regulations to do
Yeah.
what we're doing. We can
Right.
say fuck, shit, piss, right? Which is, I'm going to take that opportunity every time I can. And if people in Des Moines, Iowa, or fucking Provo, Utah don't like it, that's cool, because there's shit for you that they don't curse. They don't whatever. They're plastic face to quote
Yeah,
CKY,
hell yeah.
right?
You don't
They're
like it,
living
change
in
the
that-
channel.
Yeah, they're living in that plastic plan, right?
Yeah.
Where everything is
Yes.
just
Yes.
they're living in that familiar realm where everything is back to you, Todd. They have a motherfucker in the middle of a hurricane trying to act like nothing's fucking happening. Well, Julie, this motherfucker's gonna die. You don't give a shit. Like there was 2 weeks ago, there was a guy who had a meltdown, right? His first report at this local news station. It's cold, and he fucking flipped the fuck out. He was like, "Well, I'm out here and it's fucking 30 degrees. All you give me is this fucking windbreaker when I'm in the fuck, and you keep on asking me questions. Like, what the fuck?" And that
Stupid ass bitch, I hate you.
Yeah. Ooh, ouch. Damn.
Damn.
Ooh. Tell me how you really feel, Frank.
It's a little aggressive.
Yeah, but but see, it's this freedom, right?
Guys, it's my fifth time out in a hurricane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. But it's the freedom, right? It's the freedom that creates just motherfuckers like Howard Stern or Rick
Yeah.
Dees or Kevin and Bean, here in LA, K-Rock, right? If you notice,
Game
you know,
changers.
I use an iteration of what's good party people, right? That's Kevin and Bean, right? I go, we are out. Well, that's
Paying
an ode to
homage.
Court Bauer.
Yeah.
That's an ode to Court Bauer on MLW's podcast, the first podcast that I listened to with any regularity. You know, like those are it. And to me, I'm standing on the shoulders and under the influence of giants. That's a pretty badass band too, Under the Influence of Giants, that actually end up becoming AWOL Nation. But that's another story for another day. But yeah, it's that. That's why if Rogan is saying, hey, I want everyone to start a podcast, right? You can go into Best Buy with $80 and get all the gear you need. You can order it from Amazon if you got COVID restrictions. Now, I was lucky enough. I've got the Shure SM7B because I wanted to be like Rogan. $400 microphones. I have 2 of them. I sat on it for 4 years. I've had these for most of my career and only used it this year because, for a simpleton like me, an easy way to hook it up didn't exist, or I didn't know existed, because there weren't enough podcasters so I can ask and go, hey,
Right.
what the fuck? What do you, whatever. And it's Jack Farmer of, he has a shit ton of
Man.
fucking podcasts that he does, right? He does commentary for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. And mark my words, I think in the next 2 years, he'll either be with AEW or WWE. He's just that guy. But, he's $99 part, Shure X2U, hooked up to the whatever on a $15 mic stand that I got from eBay 3 years ago, right? And I like it because it reminds me of the blue water of Fiji, kind of in my roots. And and nobody else has a fucking aquamarine, cyan colored fucking mic stand. So it makes me different.
Never seen
All
that.
Yeah. It's just a thing, like who's rocking a Harley Race fucking shirt? Like I want to do shit
Not today, nobody.
right. I want to do and the shit with Ric Flair. I'm like, I was never a Flair fan anyway, right? And those stories were told in jest of him essentially being a predator. But for me, Nick Bockwinkel of the AWA was way better in terms of, now he wasn't the Nature Boy, but this is a guy who's a second generation wrestler. His dad was Warren Bockwinkel, the guy who ran the show that Ted DiBiase's
Wow.
stepdad, Iron Mike DiBiase, ended up passing away at having a massive heart attack. And guess
Yeah.
who? That was Warren Bockwinkel's show, right? And guess who ran to Mike DiBiase's fucking aid? It was a 17-year-old Harley race,
Oh shit.
and he's the one who fucking drove
Wow.
to the DiBiase household to tell Ted, his mom, and his brother that their father slash husband passed away.
Fuck, man.
Right?
Wow.
So it's these things. It's the things that I read and what have you that I'm just like, oh my god. But again, to Nick Bockwinkel, you know, if Ric Flair was the Wolf of Wall Street, fucking 80s, you know, whatever, coked up, whatever, right? Well, Nick Bockwinkel is more of the Robin Leach lifestyles and the rich and famous. He would cut promos like,
Damn.
my skill, my cunning, right? That's shit
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Ric Flair
Yeah.
wouldn't say. He made you believe that he was from fucking Beverly Hills, even though he grew up in fucking West Texas. Watch watch fucking
Yeah.
Nick Bockwinkel's stuff, and then come back to me. I think the fucking AWA inmate title, the reason why they call it the inmate title, is because it was made by inmates at the fucking Colorado State Penitentiary, because Vern Gagne, the fucking head of the AWA and a Olympic alternate in '59 and whatever, right, was too cheap to pay a fucking legit belt maker. So he gets prison labor to have his top championship. 100%, which I have a replica of. You know?
That is so fucking cool, Adam.
Yeah, so for me, I'm a fan, right? And I like to think that I haven't, like, I'm kind of in MMA, pro wrestling, jiu-jitsu, but I'm kind of not. I kind of hover around it. And if
Yeah.
shit gets too weird or whatever, I'll jump out. And I'll
Yeah.
if shit gets too weird and too intense, or nobody wants to respond and everybody wants me to talk to their managers, MMA, I'm going to hit up a fucking 300 followers, an independent pro wrestler in England,
Yeah.
or somebody that's been on the Mae Young Classic, or what have you. Like, that's the shit, you know. And it's like I said, this is not it. That's according to Woods. I do Voodoo in the Woods with Pius Nino Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. He's a former U of MMA champion, fought on cards with Dominic Reyes and like a litany of fucking people, right? As an amateur, right? And this is a guy who's an educator by trade, and he fucking wants to do a podcast twice a week with me. I don't fucking understand it, right? Tom Albano of the fucking Fansided and MMA Prospects and Empty the Bench. Again, we're doing a fucking podcast come October, and John Cena is already following an account with no picture of us.
Damn.
Insane. Insane.
I don't know, and it's not like, oh, the work that I did or anything like that. It's just, it's weird to me.
That's
It's
the word
all
on the
weird to me.
streets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, like, I'm gonna continue to do this until I feel like I'm worth it. And but I never think I'm gonna be worth it, because I'm trying to make my parents proud. My dad passed away, massive heart attack, Christmas Day, 2010. My mom passed away, depending on who you talk to, either December 2nd or December 4th, 2013. She was found at her house by her husband, suffering a brain aneurysm. She had all of 15% brain activity, right? When they got her to Keck USC Medical Center in downtown LA, right? And her husband wanted to do tests, which, cool, you know? But my sister and I remembered when Princess Diana, who my mom was a purveyor of the Kennedys and the royal family and all that shit. That was her jam. And I remember when the Princess Diana thing, whatever, and they said like gravely injured or seriously injured. And my mom was just like, oh, she's never going to be the same. And at the same time, like that Terry Schiavo case where the lady was basically kept alive by her husband, even though her husband knew her wishes of wanting to, die away with dignity, but her family that she was born into wanted to keep her alive. And it was like a 20-year struggle, right? That just ended like 5 years ago, right? She was in a vegetative state for 15 fucking years, right? So I knew my mom was just like, if that happens to me, no, you end it, because I'm not there. It's just my body, right?
Right.
my stepdad wasn't privy to those conversations, and of course, that's what you want to do for your wife and all that stuff, right? So they kept her alive just to do the test, where she had 3 heart attacks, 2 strokes,
Man.
had 7% brain activity, functional, even in a
Yeah.
vegetative state, is about 30%.
Fuck, man.
Right?
Wow.
And that's even weird because the last time I saw my mom 3 months before, we were cursing each other out. You know? But that's my mom. Like, my
Yeah,
mom was just
yeah.
fucking a fighter up until the end. So, December 4th is when they clinically, you know, declared her passed away and donated her organs because she was an organ donor and what have you.
Yeah.
But, like, that's it, And I'm trying to make my parents proud.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
only
no
time that
doubt
I
you
saw,
are, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw them, in my kind of delusions, when I had COVID and everything like that, and I met them and they were, good, and I wanted to go with them, but they fucking turned me away at the gates and said, "You got work to
Hey,
do,"
good.
Hey,
So,
man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
but
saying, Adam. That's
yeah,
what I've been saying, man.
yeah.
That's what I was telling you, Adam.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm almost running a race with no finish line,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm trying to make them proud. I don't know. Their remains, their ashes are in my house, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They can't talk to me. I can't talk to them in that
Right.
way. And if you want to go spirituality, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
It's here nor there with me. But with that all being said, it's just like I'm running a race that there's no competitors. Everybody's friendly. There's no animosity with anyone, right? But there's also no finish line.
Right. Well, man, I definitely think you're doing them proud. I mean, everything that you're doing, just the people that you inspire and the people that you meet, and just, it's not just about those connections, but the fact that you're able to put it on a platform where other people can benefit and enjoy from. That is, where I really believe like what you're doing matters. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do. It's super inspiring, man. Just to sit back and to really get into people's lives just for a minute. What they feel, what they think, how they think. Gives you a perspective. So I definitely think you're doing great work out there, and we're
I,
super lucky to have you here.
I appreciate that, and I think you, Alfonso, and you, Frank, are doing amazing work. Look at Frank. You guys both do jujitsu, but Frank is getting into comedy, and like those are fucking hard things. I say some dumb shit sometimes, and sometimes people laugh, and some people like fuck off, motherfucker, and that's just what happens. So the fact that you're doing it in terms, and then also jujitsu, and
Yeah.
then like also the podcast, like I just have the one thing. So I hope I'm doing great at the one thing because it gets sketchy after that.
No way, Adam. You're opening doors, man. And you know what, man? There's a lot of people don't say this, but it says a lot about someone when you can help people that really can't do anything for you. I'm sorry, Adam, but we're not going to get you all kinds of followers. We're not going to get you all kinds of sponsorships. But you're showing us. I mean, you've grown this show. You've had such an impact on the show. You don't even understand, brother. And I thank you for taking me under your wing and showing me the ropes and setting an example for what a true professional in this industry is. And hopefully someday we can do a tiny bit of what you've been doing. And your mom and dad are looking down on you, and I'm sure that they're proud of you, man. And you have so many more things to give back, brother. And thank you for being on here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. Is there anyone you want to thank or anyone you want to put on blast? T Wood for not putting out Paul Logan when he had him against the ropes. You son of a bitch. You should have fucking knocked him out, man. Sorry, guys. It needed to be said.
Yeah. No, the fucking people, the people that needed to be fuck you and motherfucker too, they've already been fuck you motherfucker too.
All right.
Over the course of the last month, right? But no, I appreciate you guys for having me on. My wife, fucking 15 years in, 4 beautiful kids, a grandbaby. Oh my god, I love
Damn.
that. He's the only one that watches
Salute.
wrestling and
Oh,
MMA with me.
damn.
Not the other
Worth the
kids.
wait. Oh, he's
yeah,
a
worth the
treasure.
wait.
They're a treasure.
Yeah, and like I said, I love the fact that most of my family don't fucking
Yeah.
watch it because I would go eat down. I would be eating top ramen, probably not change my fucking whatever because there's a fight happening all the time, right? So I love that. My family,
Right.
but the Woods, this is it. According to Woods, my dad's side of the family, there are a lot of things that are very scandalous. They're horrible. They're fucking horrible. Sometimes somewhat downright atrocious, right? But this is a name that I'm going to have to give to my son, and that I gave to that I gave to my wife, that my cousins who had no part in any of that shit, have to
Right.
get, right? So I wanted to do something to honor that part of the lineage, right? I have another project that I'm honoring my grandfather's side of the lineage, the Fijian side of the lineage. And most would say, "Oh, well, you're doing the broadcasting thing just like he did." But I got one more thing that's working out the trademarks and shit like that. That is,
Okay. All right.
So that's that. I think everybody that has interviewed with me or podcasted with me, both on my platform or other people's platform. Shout out to Free Admission Media, the Gym Crashers. I mean, I was at them for fucking 3 years before pandemic and driving almost 2 hours to Stanton, to Orange County, and then 45 minutes back just so I can have the sucking time, right? And they always put me, at the helm. So Robert Simerson, John Arredondo, Joey the Bull, and the entire thing. Maria Rios, who fought for Bellator, Miguel, and Jessica, that whole Jim Crashers crew. Pius Anil Lobo, that I do Voodoo in the Woods with. Shout out to him. Like I said, Tom Abano, who, I'm about to embark another podcast with. Fucking Aisha Raymond, Big Femme Vader, who fought in the Mae Young Classic, we do a weekly podcast, her in Scotland, me here. It's just crazy how my life has been. And again, this is really dedicated to anybody else that wants to podcast, that wants to study medicine, that wants to become a professional pallbearer or embalmer or whatever the fuck you want to do. Be like Nike and just do it, because chances are you can fucking learn that shit on YouTube. You don't have to go in debt, to go to school.
Yep.
Now, if you want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon, fuck yeah, go to school.
That's a little
because I don't want
different.
you operating on me. Whatever. If you, it's like the fucking translators, right? That are like, oh, whatever. And then
did you see that one chick?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
She was on the
Florida.
freaking news.
Florida.
Yeah.
Because
just
of course Florida.
Fucking gibberish.
Yeah. And nobody even and it was something serious. It might have been the fucking condo collapse or somebody getting
like
shot
that.
or
She's
whatever
telling
the
people
fuck.
how to
And she
go
was
get
just
the
like,
COVID vaccine.
yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that was a side effect.
She's over there sea walking in the back.
I know. Oh, shit. I mean, either that or fucking bath salts and eating people's faces. I don't know. I fucking don't know.
As
But
long
I
as
mean,
she's
this
not
shit is-
eating people's faces off, we're all right.
or tattooing people's faces. Or
That's
tattooing
there you
her
go.
face. No,
True.
but and again, you guys, Frank and
Thank you.
Alfonso, the fact that you had me on to share space and time. This is a platform that's no different than mine. That's no different than Joe Rogan's. That's no different than Conrad Thompson's or anyone else, right? Eric Bischoff. Like, it's
Right.
no different. The fact that you lent your space that you are paying for to me, I can't thank you enough. The kind things that you said about my parents,
We appreciate
again, I'm
you, brother.
fucking. Like, you had me cry twice.
Oh,
I don't
man.
give a shit. But like, that's it.
Hey, not on purpose.
Oh,
Just saying,
fuck, I don't
speaking
care.
from the heart, man.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
Speaking
I
from the
appreciate it,
heart.
and that's
Yeah.
it for this podcast and every podcast, right? To get as content creators, what they want out of it. Hell, the fucking ass selfie Instagram models that fucking do Bible quotes while they want you to look at their tits and ass.
Showing their
right?
butt cheeks.
Like,
For sure.
But if that's the fucking content that they want to create, kudos to them. Kudos to the fucking OnlyFans.
Hallelujah.
On Twitch that are fucking, you'll never make it fucking playing video games. They're making more than all of us combined playing
Hell
fucking
yeah.
video games. Right?
Booyah.
And they got no college debt either.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking colleges are recruiting them, just like the fucking athletes. So like it's for you. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being you guys. Thank everyone for being, and that's it. Be yourself. You just got over the fucking dark side of the ring where Chris Canyon was closeted gay, and then had bipolar manic depressive. It's just like, be yourself, because you will be tortured. I was tortured for 31 years before I started doing interviews. And that's fucking having a wife and kids and all that stuff. Think my kids, my goodness, my son, the youngest one, will be 14. He's damn near taller than me, on Tuesday, So, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. And here's a positive vibes only. Fuck all that bullshit. Some of this is a big fuck you to anybody that said, I wouldn't make it anywhere. That I would be a criminal. That I would be a mastermind behind a fucking bank heist. That I'd be slanging drugs. That Ingledo is up to no good. That have called me N-words behind my back in front of my face. This is for y'all motherfuckers.
There we go. Fuck them fools.
Shove it up your ass, bitches.
But I am shoving it up your ass. You guys are shoving.
Yeah, we are shoving it up their ass.
Yeah, that's it, and that's it, That positive vibes only, fuck that. Positive vibes on a piece of coal will still be it will be a piece of coal.
Yeah.
Fucking pressure on a fucking piece of coal is a diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
That's how you
Shoot
get
for the
diamonds
moon.
under pressure,
Shoot
baby.
for the moon. Even if you fall short, you land amongst the stars. So make your fucking goals as big and as grandiose as you can, because you'll never know what happened.
Yeah.
My friends, are living proof.
That's what's up.
I was gonna ask Alfonso if he had anything to add, but you're never gonna top that. So fuck that, Alfonso.
No.
Shut up. Nah,
I'm just saying
what you got?
peace.
Anything to add, Alfonso? Peace.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
where
saying
can they
Think
find you guys on
anybody,
social
Dave Fonzo?
media?
they can find us on
Where can they-
Instagram. Go ahead, Frank.
No, I was just gonna ask Adam. Adam, where can our listeners find you again, and all your
According to-
awesome content?
According to Woods Across the Board, if you want the main podcast, I mean, it's kind of crazy because there's not an audio-only version, but I'll get that worked out some way, somehow, whatever. But the main podcast, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, according to Woods Across the Board, on Instagram, and Snapchat, and TikTok, according to Woods. And then Twitter, you can search according to Woods, and you'll find me. But Adam K. Woods, for whatever reason, they won't let me switch or whatever the fuck. But according to Woods Across the Board, we'll get you that. You can even put it in the Google machine. I have my family in Fiji that have Googled me, and like my fucking videos come up, which is fucking wild that they have
That's
internet.
Hey, telling you,
No,
making an
no,
impact
but-
on the planet.
Yeah, man. But again, no, we're not finishing this out, right? Because obviously, you guys are anybody that's listening already knows how to find you both. But for those who aren't, that maybe I might have a little Pied Piper effect on and bring
All
them
right.
here, and they want to know of all the cool shit that you guys are both doing. I want you guys to state where your podcast can be found, how can we watch, listen, and subscribe, but also where they can find you on the interwebs.
All right.
Yeah, you guys can find us at Instagram at Jujiteros C2C. That's JIUJITEIROS C2C, because we spelled it right the second time we fixed it. And you can find us on our website at www.jujiterosc2c.com. We got a YouTube page. We're on Face. We're on Insta. We're on Twitter. We got a TikTok. But yeah, you can find everything on our main page, on our webpage, jujiterosc2c.com.
Yes. And then, Alfonso, do you have a separate one, or is that
I
it?
don't. It's all the
Okay.
same. Yeah,
Hell
we're all on
yes.
the same account. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, follow us. We'll see you there, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Be awesome, everyone.
We all share the love. We're all in one giant hot tub. So that's a wrap for this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening out there. To all my rivalry peeps, I'll be back up on the mats after watching Who's Number One. I got to get ready for the ADCC trials to watch on my couch. But I'll be there to yell at you guys and tell you what you guys need to do. Also, if you got a little bit of time, just like we just mentioned, check out our website at www.jiujiteros.c2c.com. That's www.jiujiteros.c2c.com for all our content. Hope to keep adding a new actually, we're working on a new cartoon, so hopefully you can see that pretty soon. Until next time, keep rolling and training, everybody, and we hope to hear from you soon. Peace.
Meow. All right.
This is the motivation.